Hey everybody, it's Tony Schiavone of All Elite Wrestling, and this is Tru Heel Heat, and I said it right, you motherfuckers.
Oye, te habla tío Savio Vega. This is Savio Vega, and you watching Tru Heel Heat a mi manera o pa la calle.
Hello, it is Saturday morning, and you know what that means. It's time for some Tru Heel Heat. I am in Chicago for All Out, and I'm joined by some friends. You can jump in now. Oh my God. In living color, SP3 is back in America. We're going to talk about AEW All Out, WWE Clash at the Castle, NXT War Games, Bobby Fish gone from AEW, Malakai Black axes for his release. It's Tru Heel Heat 191. Producer, hit the intro. Hello. It is me, your Tru Heel Phenom, SP3. We are live on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch for Tru Heel Heat 191. All Out Clash collides, discussing the latest wrestling news, including more AEW backstage drama with Bobby Fish officially done with the company. You got Malakai Black requesting his release and getting denied. Recap in the week of wrestling with AEW Dynamite featuring the Elite versus the Undisputed Empire in the Trios Dynamite Finals. You had WWE SmackDown, Raw, NXT 2.0, AEW Rampage, NWA 74. I'll spend as least time as possible talking about that. Impact on Access TV. That's my job. Preview and predictions for all the big shows of the weekend, plus much more. As always, I am here with the beautiful, the lovely Miss Krssi Luv.
Good morning. Where did you guys find Savio Vega in Queens or the Bronx? Like he was at somebody's bodega or restaurant? That is fucking wild. I love it.
He was making bacon, egg, and cheese at this bodega, and Johnny.
Oh, he was making a chopped cheese. Which one?
Chopped cheese.
He made a chopped cheese. By the way, I've never had one of those.
What?
And yeah, I've never had one of those. No. That's
oh my God, we got to take away your New York card now.
Not even close, friend, because I didn't have a chopped cheese. No, that's a Bronx thing. No, that's nothing that happens in Brooklyn. That's a Bronx thing.
That's fair.
Thank
and
you.
I am joined in living color with some of your Tru Heel Heat favorites. To my right, yes, that's my right. My right here, you have the artist formerly known as Drunk Guy JJ, now Sober Guy JJ.
How long is this for? That's not gonna last till tomorrow.
No, I already had 2 shots. But anyway.
See, thank you. So change the damn name.
He's not playing, y'all.
Change the name. You can't put Sober Guy.
Chicago, Labor Day weekend. Good to see you, Krssi. Good to see you.
God.
Kate. Yes.
How do you say Kate wrong?
I don't know. I want to say Katie. I don't want to say Katie.
Sober guy over there. Can't even get a one syllable name right. All right.
He literally got introduced like maybe 2 minutes ago. He already.
Already a flashback to 3 years ago.
I didn't want to call you Katie.
Katea? No.
The more things change, the more they say the same.
Remember, guys, just like 3 years ago, you can make Jaquan drink in the comment section. This is an interactive video.
Make it happen.
Super chat. I took another shot. How about that?
You heard it, folks. He's put himself on the line here. He's give us those super chats for Drunk Guy JJ to emerge.
If I'm not like fucking just Jennifer by the end of the stream. You guys didn't send in enough super chats.
No,
I want to be like a
probably
different
call you
generic
Katie.
white girl name.
You would definitely be called Katie, not Kate. I will call you Katie by the end of this. I'm sure.
Funny, my
Super chat
full.
if you want Jaquan to call Kate Jennifer.
That's it. Get in super chats. You got to send in money if you just want to see this get way more off the rail. It's early. It's a weird wrestling weekend. We got so much going on. You got to send in super chats if you want me to be a different generic white girl by the end of the stream. That's all I'm saying.
And to my left, you got the man of the house here in Chicago.
You said the man of the house?
What's going on, guys?
Good morning.
I'm glad that I don't have as many neighbors as last time, so that Jaquan can be as loud as he.
Oh man, that is so true.
Yeah.
So wait, not only is he over at your house, he's also like bringing down property value, being like loud.
Is it because of black? That's why you said that.
I mean, I didn't want to say that part, but you said it, so it makes it even better.
It's terrible.
You know,
we're supposed to be here.
We are here. I'm just saying, but we got to just state the fact.
Chase Oliver is with a super chat already, supporting the cause. He's gonna get a bottle. See, that's how it works. Thank you, Chase.
See, this is what we call long-term storytelling. If you guys watched the All Out preview yesterday with Romeo and Sid and myself, you saw behind Sid my liquor cabinet. Now today, you're seeing Jaquan drink my liquor cabinet dry.
What you got to show the people?
You think you're gonna get in trouble?
No, it's fine. No, it's fine.
I mean, Kelvin will also start drinking that.
This is Luna Azul Blanco tequila because I don't drink anything dark.
Okay,
you don't drink anything dark.
Yeah,
that's funny.
I will definitely uphold.
It's already off the rails,
uphold
y'all.
My word. I am a man of my word. So shout out to Tru Heel Heat and All Out.
And then finally, with all of that aside, finally we have our special guest here with us, one of the hardest working women in wrestling media, one of my favorite people to listen to because she brings that Tru Heel Heat regardless of where she's on. She's always speaking the truth. She is the co-host of Mark Order Podcast, the co-host of Sour Grabs Podcast over on Fightful, as well as Fightful Select. One of my favorites, the number one draft pick of the Blue Barracudas for the Challenge Fightful, Kate. What's going on, Kate?
I'm Katie now. Look, someone sent in $5 for the super chat. I had to. I'm here. I'm here for it. It's early, but I'm still on my shit. So I'm Katie now. You send in money, I'll change my name. We'll get more.
I love that it has question marks next to it.
Yeah, we're gonna see who I become.
That's what makes it even better. That the question marks are there because it's not Katie. I mean, it's not Katie, but it's Katie with question marks. So now you have to actually say that like all the time.
Katie?
Yeah.
He said Katie said a cool name. He was like, so many famous people have it, like Katie Vick. Like what?
My God, man!
Shout out to Katie Vick, man.
You're doing another shot if you're not drunk enough. Nope.
Hi, Kelvin. Good morning.
It's a special guest request.
Okay, you know what? Shout out to Katie. I got you, Kate. I got you. I'm gonna hold it down in the streets right here.
I swear this is gonna be off the rails. I can tell already.
Yep, it's already started. We have 10 minutes in.
Yep, we got a couple
earlier than usual. So now there
you go.
We got a couple of people in the live chat. Remember to keep those comments coming in the live chat. Let us know what you like about the week in wrestling. If you have any questions, want to discuss any topics, of course, your super chat donations are always appreciated. Helps out the channel so much. We got a CM who says, "Did you even sleep?" Yeah, I did. I did actually. I actually overslept, and I missed like the first hour of AEW Dark, which I didn't miss anything. So
It'll be covered. He didn't have to go see it because I'm going to be covering on Dark Power.
See?
Look at that synergy. Look at that corporate synergy.
Look at that. Look at that. I don't need to watch anything. That's perfect. We got Annika who says Miss Kate and Mrs. Krssi together when worlds collide. Indeed. Yes. We're gonna have a lot of rants on this episode. I can already feel it. You got this one drinking. You got Kate brings it, Krssi. So we might have to ask you about the forbidden person today, so we can get a vintage Krssi rant. Even though she's not in the news, we're gonna bring up Tessa Blanchard just for you.
That fuck boy, please.
Jesus.
Look, it's 7 minutes in. We were bringing up Katie Vick, so we're already like,
technically it's only down.
So that's way up.
Katie Vick, Tessa Blanchard seems about right. Keep those comments coming. We got.
Did you guys have breakfast? Like, did you eat? Stop it.
He did. I didn't eat anything yet.
I went to the restaurant.
So Jay, please stop. Okay, I need you to you need to make it to the rest of the shows today. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have much as. Okay, you know what? Fine. When you barfing out your brains later, I warned you.
Let me show.
Drinking ones have to be super chats. That's the rule.
I'll be fine.
Okay.
You have to.
No, you're Parathis. That's why you're the drunk guy. You're right. I'll be quiet. You're right.
I haven't really drunk in months, but you know.
Well, that's about to change.
It's about to change. Well, it's already changed.
This is what the people are here for. We're gonna shout out a bunch of our supporters on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel, Facebooks, Instagram, all the great places. Our top 3 conversation starters are Reno Red, Stewie Palmer, and the Negro Buck, Nick Jackson. Patreon backers, Nick Jackson, Vala B, Alan Weinstein, Alex McCarthy, Professor Chris, Austin K, Slam and Sammy Joe, Yuma Boy Blue, Yachty, Robert, Steve, Antoine, 5th Generation Carney, Beat Boot, DJ Eric, Ladarius Brown, John, aka Russell Scopes, Dan Snide, Kobe, Toy Morgan, John Paul, and Blue Eyes. Thank you all for supporting us over at patreon.com/Tru Heel Heat. So let's get into some wrestling before we get even further off the rails. And remember, send the super chats for Drunk Guy JJ. I'm going to change that name too. Drunk Guy JJ.
I'm sober, man. Come on, man. I'm sober.
I don't know why you lying.
Labor Day weekend is an exception. Yeah, exactly. You heard it here first. But yeah, so what we missed from the week, we had AEW Dynamite this week. They once again did over 1 million viewers, 1.020 million viewers. The show featured the final build for Jon Moxley versus CM Punk 2 at All Out this Sunday, with Mox cutting a promo laying out an open challenge for the AEW World Championship. Ace Steel coming out and grabbing the contract. CM Punk then cutting a promo about believing he may never be the same after his foot surgery. You then had Ace Steel cutting a marvelous promo on him, motivating, lighting a fire underneath Punk to fight at All Out, and then Punk cutting a fired up babyface promo for his hometown Chicago, which of course Stat King was at home saying, yeah, Chicago. The Elite defeated the United
haters.
The Elite defeated the United Empire in the AEW World Trios Tournament Dynamite Finals to advance to the finals this Sunday at All Out, highlighted by, of course, Omega versus Ospreay's feud with Kenny beating Kyle Fletcher with the One Ring Angel, but United Empire getting the final laugh, attacking the Elite after Dynamite went off the air. You had Bryan Danielson beat Jake Hager in a very good opening matchup. Post-match, Jericho tried to attack Bryan with a chair, but Daniel Garcia stopped him. You had Hikaru Shida and Toni Storm defeated Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter, with Shida pinning Baker. And we got to give Tony Khan a lollipop because he gave the woman the first hour. Thank you, Tony. It's the little things that matter. You got to reward them. You got to reward him, and maybe he'll do it more often. See?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not like in the mood to reward Tony Khan for his women's wrestling right now. Sure.
It's very selective. You can't just give him like these things all the way.
I'm just stirring the pot for when Kate's gonna get in here. And then W. Morrissey made his re-debut by coming out and destroying the Wingmen, and then leaving with Stokely Hathaway afterwards, getting his business card. But Kate, what was your highlight out of everything that happened from Dynamite, and what was your low light?
I would say the highlight is interesting because I'm a CM Punk mark, and I've really actually liked this story. I think it's been a lot of fun. I know that particular promo was really polarizing for people, but I think it's great. And sometimes, like, even I remember, like, when Ronda Rousey was in UFC before everybody hated her, like, she would have, 20
No,
seconds.
not true. I never liked her from the get-go.
See, okay.
Continue.
But, like, you're real. That's real, though. You know what I mean? But, like, she would have fights that lasted 30 seconds, and because UFC is on so late, people would be disappointed by those fights. And I feel like they carried that same mentality kind of over to this Mox and Punk thing. But I really like it because I think, like, that's a very real thing of I got injured and my 100% looks different than it did is like a very real thing that happens with athletes all the time. So I really liked that story. I loved bringing back Ace Steel. It kind of reminded me in WWE when he brought Heyman back, like he's going back into the war chest a little bit. So that content was for me. I really liked it, but I am very intrigued by the Stokely Hathaway angle. I'm a huge Stokely mark too. I think he's the best active manager that there is right now. But like, he's such a great worker. And we saw like some silliness with the baddies. And then we saw like this super serious side of him. And then he tweeted "All Out, I'm out" and deactivated his Twitter. So I'm like, are these guys going to show up and blitz everybody? Is this going to be an ROH move? Like, I'm so intrigued by this. Like, I think this is really cool. My low light is probably JR saying it's good that Sheeta was Americanized by her look. I'll go with that as my low light. Yeah, which is
yes, he did.
Why am I surprised? It's fucking JR.
Yeah, exactly what Jaquan said. That part. Yep.
Veda Scott is right there, but outside of that being like wildly offensive, I find it hilarious because ever since she Americanized herself, she has been off television, and
that part
Japanese self was the one that had the most dominant title reign in all of AEW, right? So that was, well, the match I thought was good that we saw for the women. That really kind of overshadowed things for me sincerely, where I was just like, man, that kind of took me right out of it, cutting the legs out from Sheeta like that. So
luckily for me, I've tuned JR out for months now. So
wise man.
I wish that they would go back to just keep him in the second hour. Just keep him in the second hour.
What happened to that? They I don't get it.
He's like, good God Almighty! I'm getting paid all this money. I need to be on 2 hours.
They should just definitely keep him. I like I love Taz. I think the whole thing, I thought it was good, like transition, like you, and especially you were just on, like you did what, chemo and all that stuff. You don't have, like, you're in radiation, like you don't have to do everything right now. So just take it easy. It's okay.
I feel like the best use for JR, and this is just a matter of taste, is he's really good with like those sit down backstage interview segments.
Yes.
And I think
that's crazy.
Facts.
Those are great. And then I think if you brought him out for big matches, so it felt like a big deal, so that you're like leaning into his legend status and not who he is right now as a commentator, might be like a better use of JR. Like, make it feel like a big deal when JR is on the desk.
Right.
Yeah, and that's what they did those first few weeks, especially when he came out for just the Blood and Guts match in June. Right? That made Blood and Guts a little bit more important. You're like, oh, JR's out here. Let's actually get into it. Or when he would only come out for the title matches. But yeah, he says a lot of things that he's not supposed to say.
He shouldn't supposed to. Yeah.
Yeah, the problem.
And I think that's also with age. I feel like he says it and he'd be like, "Oh shit, I just said that." Like, I feel like he's not really like.
He be thirst trapping on Twitter, so I'm not really.
The problem is that Tony was only bringing JR out for the important parts, and now in the build to All Out, he's like, everything's important.
In hindsight,
all 2 hours is important.
But in hindsight, though, you look how Tony Khan acts when it comes to women. So of course he's not gonna tell JR to relax.
He probably fed that line. He probably fed that line to JR. He's like, let's put an emphasis on how Americanized Sheeta looks.
Yeah.
She has jeans on now, or whatever the fuck. Like, what are we doing?
She has a bob cut. She looks American.
It's too early for this shit.
Wait, it can't be that early for you. We're an hour behind in Chicago.
I
This
know.
is true.
I'm just
This
saying,
is
like,
true.
I had
It's
like 4
earlier.
hours of sleep. Sorry.
I was really getting used, Krssi, to doing this podcast at like 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon, and now it's this early in the morning. So much different back here in America.
I'm sure. Welcome back, friend. Welcome back.
Thank you,
Feel our
Krssi.
pain.
We were gonna get your highlight and low light from the show, but sober guy for now. We got a super chat donation here from Alan Weinstein. He says, for the war chest and for your shot. There you
Alan
go.
Weinstein, you can go fuck yourself, buddy.
He gave a $10 super chat. You kidding me?
No, you have to commit. That's not fair.
My damn Blistex.
He was about to take a shot out of Blistex, ladies and gentlemen. We're off to a great start here.
I'm about to say already, Jesus. We on shot number 5 now.
There's another one.
And we got another super chat donation
All
from
right,
Bobby.
You're gonna have to wait like 2 minutes, goddamn it. I mean, like 3-minute
You
warning.
guys got to keep track, though. You got to keep track.
Do this, so they got you a bottle of Terramana.
CM, make sure you keep track that he's taking all his shots.
That's right. Gotta get to the scoreboard.
What did you say, Krssi?
I told CM to make sure that they keep track of you to make sure you take the shots of people who donate.
My Raw show and he used to keep tab of my shots.
Oh, we got Valabi who says petition to change from SHK to He-Man Woman Hater Con. Also, stay safe, drunk guy JJ. Oh, I mean,
as he
sober
sends
guy.
a super chat of me a drink, he says stay safe. What sense does that make?
So to give Kate some background on here, we our viewership affectionately calls Tony Khan not TK but CHK, which can stand for anything: color hating Khan, cokehead Khan.
Oh God, I can't.
So that's what they
you guys are ridiculous.
I love that.
I forgot about the color. I forgot about color hating Khan. That's the good one right there.
I was gonna say, I think there's even been times like when I've tuned in and I've heard that shorthand but not know what it's meant. So now I feel like I'm caught up to speed. Catalina knows now, you know what I mean?
Not a kid.
She changed the name to Catalina.
Catalina Weinstein, man.
She's gonna go
so
through like
good.
10 different names before the show's released.
Right.
Vince McMahon is in charge of her name right now.
I know, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, my main roster shit right now.
Next one is gonna be Caitlin.
She's gonna
Not
be
Catalina,
she's
but
gonna be
Caitlin.
Carly in a minute.
Yeah. It'll be with a C too. I'll get real weird. We'll just get
No, you can't.
That's
You
getting
have to be with
weird. Well, we got news that came out of Dynamite this week. Following Dynamite, reports started circulating that it appeared as if Bobby Fish could be making his exit from AEW. The good folks over at Fightful Select had an update on that, and they're reporting that they've been told Fish's contract is coming up and will likely not be renewed when it does. On Thursday, PW Insider confirmed, saying that Fish's contract expired on that day and he is now a free agent. Fish made his AEW debut in early October of last year and signed a deal with the company. While he initially faced some of the company's top names, he's been used somewhat less frequently as of late due to part to injuries to Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. His last match for AEW was at the July AEW Dark Elevation tapings, and he's been taking more independent bookings as of late. With that, also, you got to bring up his tag team partner in Red Dragon, Kyle O'Reilly. He gave an update on his current condition in a recent Instagram story, revealing that he recently had neck surgery. In the story, O'Reilly posted a photo of a Surge soda can with neck written above the label, and followed by a photo of him in the hospital with Alive by Pearl Jam playing, followed by a picture of a Ford Fusion car with neck written over Ford. O'Reilly last wrestled on the June 8th edition of AEW Dynamite and last appeared on the August 3rd episode with Fish and Cole to turn on the Young Bucks, and no word yet on how long O'Reilly will be out for. Kate, what's your thoughts on Bobby Fish now being done with AEW and the circumstances around it, which seem kind of weird and vague, of who denied the renewal of his contract, and now we don't get Undisputed Elite versus Elite, something that they've kind of been building to since Adam Cole came into the company.
Looks like the fish is back in the sea.
Jesus Christ.
You should have to take another shot, Pater.
Oh man. Looks like the fish is back in the sea. I'm just saying.
Luckily, I have two
Krssi
You can fall asleep in one
I'll
of them.
I'll make it to the bathroom.
You can fall asleep in one of them this time.
You know, I think with Fish having had a 300-year career already, God bless him.
Right.
Like a historic career that's been going on since really since the late 1700s. No, I really like Bobby Fish. I think it sucks, but I also get it from the perspective of I don't think I knew how severe the Kyle O'Reilly injury was, and that's a very severe injury in that he may never wrestle again, or it might take a really long time to come back. So I think with the cloudiness over that, and then Cole being able to be a single star, let's be honest, that leaves Bobby Fish in kind of a weird place on this roster as a guy who wouldn't be getting pushed, as a guy who would probably be eating pins for younger people and stuff like that. And if that's not the direction, if that's not the direction he wants to go with his career, this seems like a fair, it could have been a mutual parting of ways, but I get not wanting to stick around on the hope that Kyle O'Reilly can return when he might return. What's interesting to me is how short his contract was, because that's got to be one of those 6-month deals, which is good. You want to see if he's going to develop into something. No. But I don't know where he goes next, because as much as Hunter's bringing his boys back, I don't think he wants to bring back a 45-year-old Bobby Fish without the presentation. So maybe he just goes and works the indies and NWA. Maybe Impact has him kicking around for something, but I'm all for workers working where they want to work. So there you go. And I think they said that the door was open to potential return. So if a year from now Kyle O'Reilly can't get back in the ring, it sounds like the terms were at least decent enough. But you can never trust those Fightful select.
Pension, he's at that age. He uses pension.
You know what? Leave Bobby Fish. That's not nice, guys.
Okay.
That's your zaddy, right?
I love Bobby Fish. I don't understand why this is unacceptable for Tony Khan. See, this is a bullshit that I'm talking about. I don't understand why, but why he's on a 5-month contract in the first place, which is not really even cool. But they wasn't even really utilizing him in the first place, so that that kind of tells it in itself. But what did he say?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, he was the first one to go there.
No, he came after Cole.
Cole, obviously.
Yeah.
Then
he came after Cole. Yes,
Fish,
he was there after Cole, and then the other guys. Kenny. Kind. So yeah, it sucks that
What? He's old. Sorry, somebody said he's old.
Was that your kids?
Yes, that was my oldest son. Sorry.
He just called him old from off camera.
Actually, it wasn't. He was talking about something else, but it sounded like he was saying old.
You know what's so amazing is he's 45. Punk is 43.
Right.
Is literally retirement age, but he just looks like he came from an era of
he looks
bare
like
knuckle boxing. It's the presentation that makes him feel so old.
Exactly.
Fish.
But
because I am freaking young. What the hell does that? He's acting like he's young. I'm only 30 years old.
No, that's he doesn't even have facial
I don't
hair.
even look 30. How dare you? No. All right then.
You can still morning drink. You're young in my book, brother.
Exactly. See, don't let the new generation shirt fool you. I'm still young. I'm only 30.
Yeah, trust me, I ain't doing that at my age. I got 2 kids. I got terrible twos. I can't do
Funny thing is that he has 2 kids too, and he still does it.
That
I don't even know what we're talking about right now. But I'm just trying to go along with it.
I said I got 2 kids. I ain't doing the morning drinking anymore.
That was shit with 2 kids. You need to drink in the morning.
He's 4 years younger, so that's why he can do it. So
I just got a message that says you were hanging out with Cass at 4 Cups last night. So the fact that you're still alive is impressive to me. That guy, if you make it through a night with him, every pay-per-view is like The Hangover with Cass from Body Slam. So.
Did you see Tyler too last night?
Yeah, I survived. I didn't stay the whole night with Cass. That was the key. I knew when to leave.
Smart man.
Yeah, I've hung out with Cass before, and I knew when to leave when the night was going to get into that hangover territory. I was like, okay, I got to go. I'm staying at somebody's house. I'm not staying at a hotel. I can't get back anytime I want. Then you had on Thursday more drama within AEW. Several rumors have been flying about Malakai Black requesting his release from the company, and a new report has some details on the situation. It was first reported by Raj Giri of Wrestling Inc. that Black had asked for his release from the company, citing concerns about his mental health due to personal life and demoralization due to the booking and handling of his character. PW Insider reports that according to sources close to Black, there is a personal situation that has been affecting him and strongly, and that he's privately discussed taking a long and potentially permanent break from wrestling so he can deal with the situation. Fightful Select reported that representatives of All Elite Wrestling have shot down reports that Black has been released as completely false, and there was a rumor among AEW roster that Black was unhappy, but they were able to report on the reason why without confirming it. They have also not confirmed that Black has asked for his release, though some sources outside the company had indicated such. Those within the company said that Black wasn't happy, but said they believed the situation had been smoothed over to some level. Black has 4 years left on his current 5-year deal with AEW that he signed last year, and is set to compete at All Out in the 6-man tag team matchup, pitting the House of Black against Miro, Sting, and Darby Allin. I'll ask you first, Stat King, what did you think about the whole report with Malakai Black asking for his release from AEW?
I've long been an advocate for people to be able to kind of leave when they're not feeling it anymore. My only difference, because I mean, like, part of the reason why I stopped watching WWE is back in 2020 is because of how they've been treating talent, particularly during the releases when the pandemic was going on. The only difference for me here is that sometimes, if somebody's going through any kind of mental health problems or depression or anything like that, sometimes you need that outside perspective to look out for you. And this could easily be a situation not where Tony is, denying the release because he just wants to have Malakai Black on the roster. It could be a situation where he's looking out for him and understanding that, you feel this way right now, but sometimes you need that semblance of normalcy around you to help you pull you out of wherever you are. Now, if that's not the case, then yes, Tony should be releasing Malakai Black from his contract. If it is the case, then it could just be a situation where Tony can see what Malakai may need, or people around Malakai and around Tony are telling Tony this may be what he needs. Let's not say that Tony Khan is the most observant person in the world. But either way, the message is we're trying to help you, not that we're trying to be greedy and hold on to you. So, my question is, I don't know whether Malakai was involved as the person or persons alleged to be with that tampering thing from WWE, and that also can factor into it as well. So, if he really is going through issues and he really is dead set, then I think Tony should release him.
What about you, Kate? What did you think about all these reports? And what have you thought about Malakai Black's booking in AEW since we're past 1 year of him coming into the company last July?
I think before anything, and I don't mean to be bearing specific people or whatever, the fact that somebody's mental health was turned public is disgraceful. Yeah. I think it's the fact that that part of it leaked is a failure on wrestling media's part, and people's mental health, unless they choose to make it public, is something that, in my opinion, should be completely off limits. And I think it's extremely fucked up that came to light. And I'm not here to speculate on any of that. But what I will say, before we even get into the booking part of Malakai Black, is, and I've said this before, so I'm sorry if you've heard me say things like this before, but I think people wildly underestimate how hard it is to be a professional wrestler. I think people are completely blind to how many, like every wrestler, I've said this before too, like every wrestler is walking around with 3 to 5 injuries that they don't even consider injuries because it's just a part of their daily life. Every wrestler is at the gym, and then when they're not at the gym, they're tearing apart their own bodies with body dysmorphia because somebody looks better than them. Anytime we say someone looks like $1 million, they're thinking, why don't I look like $1,000,001? And then you get to your job where half of it's just out of your control. You have no control over your booking. And when you look at a guy like Malakai Black, that guy really gives a shit. And I know that because whenever he comes out with half of his face blacked out, that is something that started like 5 years ago in a different company. This guy gives a shit on a
long term.
The longest term. Like, it's when you care that much, you get very affected, I think, by booking. And when something like a trios tournament gets announced and you are kind of like the trio that's been running roughshod over things, you're probably thinking, this is my shot at gold, would be my guess. And then you get eliminated early, right? So depending on when they knew the plans are, I could see that being something that would affect someone's mental health. But, you know, I loved what they did with Cody, him just coming in and kicking off Cody's head every time he started to give kind of a generic promo was really fun. I was really loving, I know a lot of people are like, I need more Miro in title pictures. I was loving this story of Miro going through the House of Black. I don't think I need Sting and Darby in it. I just want to see Miro fight everybody in House of Black. Like, I think that's such a fun story with these like demonic characters and the Redeemer stuff. Like, I think it's a great story that should be more highlighted perhaps, but I loved where it was going. So I think I have liked Malakai Black's booking. I just wish it was more prominently focused on the show. But overall, the only thing that matters in this world is mental health. There's not a wrestling match in the world that matters more than your mental health. So I think hopefully he heals up. I do also hope, echoing the thoughts of Statking over there, that the denial of the release was maybe, if you stay under contract, we have resources that can help you, as opposed to saying, no, you can't get out of this because Triple H might be getting after you, which are both valid concerns, quite frankly. So I just
Probably
think,
so. Yeah.
I think it's really important to recognize what is paramount here. And that is, one, it's a complete failure in wrestling media that mental health that was not shared ever came to light, and B, the mental health plight of a professional wrestler is a lot bigger than I think a lot of people give it credit to. Beyond that is details.
And not to mention, like, he also, you know, to your point about how difficult wrestling is, he's been dealing with that back injury for a while, and that's gonna further complicate, you know, your mental health when you think about, you know, what I could be doing, and it's your own body that's failing you in this situation. Like,
Right,
that may be your thought process or his thought process. So it's you know, and he was in the match he was in that 4-way at Forbidden Door, and I was there, and he looked great. Like, he was all over the ring. He was an integral part of that match. So it's, you know, to your point, we don't always know what's going on in somebody else's world. And, you know, it is unfortunate and sad that this news got leaked in the way that it did. And he made that post on Instagram or Twitter. You know, it was a pretty kind of dark message. And I'm just hoping that he can pull through. I think another part of it is also, I don't know how well WWE uses someone like Zelina Vega, but being away from your spouse, and your spouse has to travel, because even she may not be on, you know, I don't know what brand she's on. She may not be on Raw or SmackDown every week, but she's more than likely at the weekend house shows. And that is going to affect your ability to be with your spouse. That's why, some people may be criticizing Adam Cole's booking, for example, in AEW. But I'm sure that I feel as though he's having the time of his life because he gets to go to work every time with his girlfriend. And
with his girlfriend, yes.
Sometimes you can't put a price on that. And that's really valuable.
Yes.
You don't think Adam Cole wants to go be fed to Karrion Kross back in WWE? You're not on that.
I don't think so at all.
I don't think so either.
He wanted that Roman Reigns run with the NXT championship on 2.0. That's what would have happened if he would have stayed. Come on.
That's true.
Or he could have been Max Dupree because they wanted him to get a haircut and be a manager. I'm just saying.
You want to talk about?
No, I'm so happy he left. Oh my god! Wow,
you're one of the best wrestlers on the planet, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna make you a manager." He's like, "Oh."
I also at the time can't.
And also, they want to change his name. Oh,
I can't imagine like hey, we want to change your name, have you cut your hair, and manage someone who also got released a couple months later. Or do you want to go to work with like all your old friends, your girlfriend, and get 2 title shots basically like within months of coming back? Ah, man, this is a tough call.
And win a tournament.
And win a tournament, yeah, and the Owen Hart, yeah. Like, man.
Yeah, he's really been booked horribly.
Oh God, yeah. People tell you Samoa Joe has been booked poorly, and he's 6-1 with a title. I just like, man, people love to make up things.
I mean, those people are very young, and so, I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt.
So they don't know any better. That's what it is.
That too. We had AEW Rampage last night. They had Hangman Adam Page, John Silver, and Alex Reynolds defeat Orange Cassidy, Trent, Chucky T of the Best Friends to advance to the AEW World Trios Championship Tournament Finals against the Elite at All Out.
Not necessary.
Ortiz and Ruby Soho beat Sammy Guevara and Ty Mello to earn a shot at the AAA Mixed Tag Team titles on the All Out 0 Hour pre-show. You had Ray Phoenix defeat Blake Christian in a fun sprint. You had quality backstage promos from Athena and Jay Cargill, as well as Swerve in Our Glory and the Acclaimed ahead of Sunday. FTR and the Motor City Machine Guns also cut some good promos before the trios match on the pay-per-view. And Ricky Starks beat QT Marshall with Rochambeau. Post-match, Starks got into a pull-apart brawl with Powerhouse Hobbs, and we had a stare down between Bryan Danielson and Chris Jericho. Do you think that these, live rampages should have more to them though? Because I felt like this was a good start to the show with the trios matchup, but I was like, this show would have came off and flowed a lot better if the trios match was the main event. QT Marshall versus Ricky Starks. I love Ricky Starks, but QT Marshall should never be in the main event of even a B show of AEW. I just felt like I could have left like 30 minutes ago when I was there. I was like, I could have left the show, beat some traffic, and get out of here. But what do you think, Krssi?
I totally agree. When you have a trios match and those guys of that caliber, I don't think that for that short of a show, I feel like they should have closed out the show. Love Ricky Starks. I don't really care about QT Marshall. But anywho, that should have been the closeout for the show. But I guess they needed something to start off with a bang, maybe. And it was okay, well, whatever finishes, So, I get why they did it, but you didn't need to do it, if that makes sense.
Yes. And we got people who said it was the best episode of Rampage in a long time.
That's cat.
It's kind of funny because like when Rampage first started, they put the main event or the most important thing right in the front because they wanted to draw people in immediately from SmackDown.
Right.
In this week, that SmackDown is taped. You could have switched it so that your main event or your most important match was at the end, which is what they've actually been doing for a couple weeks beforehand.
That's very true.
Yes. We do have another super chat. You have to take 2 shots because you didn't take one for the last super chat. But we got to
did.
I
said 2 minutes and I took it.
We have a super chat here from CM who says, "Shot time. Kate's name hasn't changed yet." Oh, and she also, I think, added another comment where she gave you another name, Kate. Katrina. He'll be fucked up by noon and sleep till tomorrow.
I like Katrina too. So you gotta do Caitlyn next, and then go do Katrina.
I just made myself Karen and said not like that.
That's great. Karen, not like that.
Oh, I'm not on Karen. I'm not complaining about anybody's managers or any of that shit. But it's a KA name. We're moving along.
That right there, Karen, is amazing. I love that.
Don't screenshot it, please. Don't fucking don't. I got enough shit on Twitter, man. I mouth off about the AEW women's division and people just.
It's like you got ready to do it and then realized the screenshot, so you paused.
Not my face.
Oh, that was great. That was great. Also, last night you had SmackDown. They had a tape show, but they still had an awesome promo exchange between Ronda Rousey and Adam Pearce, with Pearce bad-mouthing Rousey after lifting her suspension, after the board of directors lifted her suspension, and then receiving a beating for it with the armbar. You had Roman Reigns' 2 years title celebration.
That's what SmackDown was about? Okay. Oh, sorry. You heard me. I thought I was on mute. My bad.
I swear. You mentioned Tessa or Ronda Rousey. That's what gets the quickest reaction from Krssi.
Understandable.
Thank you.
Roman Reigns had his 2-year title celebration that was interrupted by Drew McIntyre hitting him with the Claymore into his car and then beating down the Bloodline by ringside. You had the Viking Raiders defeat the New Day in a fun Viking rules opener. Butch, dressed as Pete Dunne, so I'm going to call him Butch Dunne defeated Ludwig Kaiser in a hard-hitting affair. What was the highlight for you on this episode of SmackDown, Kate?
Definitely what you just mentioned at the end there, that Ludwig Kaiser and Pete Butch Dunne, man, being back in his gear with his hair looking good. Like, it felt like Pete Dunne is back. I think eventually we'll get Pete Dunne or Pete something, not Butch proper, I think. But the gap from Butch to Pete Dunne is a little bit bigger of a creative leap than, like, we gave Matt Riddle his first name back or whatever. Like, you got to give like a whole promo around that. But that match was fantastic. Like, it was really nice to see Pete Dunne back in his regular form. I think the live crowd was really reacting to the spot where he went to break Ludwig Kaiser's fingers, because they haven't seen that version, right? They've only seen Scrappy Doo Butch running around, so they got to see what
Scrappy Doo.
That's what he's been, man. That's what he's been. And I think if this leads to, the handwriting is on the wall for Butch versus Gunther, or as an NXT, that was Pete Dunne versus Walter, and that was one of my favorite takeover matches of all time. I love that match. So if we're getting back there, this spot, like, just the calculated look on his face, the selling by Kaiser there too, of course, fantastic. And the crowd was like, oh my God, like, it really looks like that guy's breaking that dude's fingers. So I thought that was fantastic stuff.
That was TakeOver New York. Yeah, TakeOver New York in Barclays.
Confused, like I wasn't there. What the fuck?
They had one for the UK title.
That was at TakeOver New York.
They
only fought once.
See, you have a good memory, even though you've been taking shots. There you go. And we had a question here from John who says, "Wait, is it $2 to make people do shots?" Right. Yes, it's simply $2.
Here's how it goes, because you guys need to send him more money about this if this man's getting day drunk. Okay, $2, you got to do a shot by the end of the show. $5, you got to do a shot within 10 minutes. $10 and up, you got to do that shot right now. I think that's fair.
Oh, good job.
I think that's a fair hierarchy. So
consultant or something. That was dope. That was good.
Go to your pay window right now.
All right, so if you ain't donating, donate. If you ain't sending more than $10, do not expect a shot in 60 seconds.
There you go. Also, $10, my name gets more ridiculous. Like $5, it's still a K name. $2, it's still a KA name. So the hierarchy continues.
I could tell Kate's done like organizing of charities before. She did that too fast.
She does this very well. She knows what she's doing.
Fightful YouTube charity. You know what I mean? It's we're working over there.
Responsibly, boys and girls. Yes,
that's right.
Drink responsibly. Yes. Thumbs up.
Even though he's a sober guy, he's not getting behind the wheel of a car. You know what I mean? Like, that's not what we're doing today.
No.
Right.
No.
We could barely go into a back of an Uber.
Uber driver might not even let me in the goddamn car.
And yes, it's a celebration. The Sandman. Yes, dude, drinking or I'm not drinking early. This is what he's here for. Drink responsibly. Belle says she's from the UK. So what is drinking responsibly?
Listen, Belle, we get that.
Alcohol instead of beer. There you go.
And then look at CM. CM's like trying to put like idea on top of idea. Says I was gonna say $10 bases for amount of shots. $10 one shot, $20 two shots.
And yo, I'm gonna have to hire y'all, man. It's gonna be a thing.
Scratch at the castle.
Patreon subscription.
We got a new name for the watch.
All right,
Yes.
Patreon subscriptions, 2 shots back to back. That's what I'm saying. There you go.
Why breathe a dragon? All right.
Well, speaking of Clash at the Castle, they had the final build for Clash on Raw this week. They did 2.1 million viewers. The show featured a baffling decision. Raquel Rodriguez and Aliyah pulling off the upset over Dakota Kai and Io Sky to win the WWE Women's Tag Championship. They did have some great segments to build to Clash, though, like Seth Rollins and Matt Riddle, split screen promo exchange, bringing back the vibes of you okay there? Of John Jones and Daniel Cormier with an ether line from Seth, who brought up Riddle's real life divorce and his kids and his wife not wanting to see his bitch ass anymore.
No, those are fighting words right there. You don't say that to somebody like unless you're ready to get these hands. So, like,
fuck you up.
Right.
He was like, keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Yep. Yes. That part. Yes.
Never gonna work again.
Got it in there. We had another fantastic promo exchange with Kevin Owens interrupting Sami Zayn and the Usos of the Bloodline. Then we had KO,
great story.
Beating Jey Uso in part due to Zayn not helping Uso. You had Kurt Angle making his return in his hometown of Pittsburgh in a funny promo exchange with Chad Gable.
Thank you.
Street Profits.
You like that, right?
Yes, very well done. You got to give the shush, please.
Shush, please. Thank you. Between me and my younger son, I think he loves that part, and we will do the whole thank you part like Kurt Angle and Chad Gable. It's really funny. We did it that same night.
Great stuff. Street Profits defeating Alpha Academy to prevent Angle from joining Gable's group. And you also had The Miz continue to be haunted by Dexter Lumis and lost to Bobby Lashley thanks to that. And then Lumis was in the back of his car, which I didn't think I could be interested in a Dexter Lumis story, but I am actually concerned for The Miz. Like I want Ciampa and Maurice to do a segment where they show him a doll and be like, show us on the doll where Dexter Lumis touched you. That's what I want. I want that moment.
Can the doll look like Lily, but it'd be Dexter Lumis and like instead, and then you could show you what it was.
Yeah, have the slick back hair. And
that's what I'm saying. Right, that part.
I'm with that.
I'm here for it.
Krssi, what was your highlight from Raw this week?
Chad Gable's amazing. Him and Sami Zayn are like those hidden gems that you didn't know could be so obnoxious, but yet so good at their job. So funny. I'm waiting for it's coming that Sami Zayn will get with Kevin Owens. However, I just love the fact that he's like the honorary Uso, but not really the honorary Uso in that same sentence, if that makes sense, because one brother is like cool with him. They had the whole like handshake and everything. The other one is just like, you'll get out of my damn face right now before I punch you in your face. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so good though. But those are my highlights. My low light was definitely the women's tag match. But yeah, that's it. Thanks.
Sober guy for now. I guess you need one more shot for drunk guy. What did you think about the finish to the women's tag team tournament?
God awful. It was hot garbage. Thank God that we were able to pick up what happened at the end. Like, clearly the person wasn't legal. So I'm assuming they go in a different direction with this. Like, they go back to vacating the titles. They have to do a rematch, and this can intertwine another tag team coming back. Maybe. I won't get my hopes up, but, you know, we'll see. But that was a terrible main event. Pittsburgh could not give a fuck. People were asleep in the crowd.
Yes. Aliyah's own hometown didn't give a fuck about her. Like, what are we doing?
There we go.
It was bad. It was really bad.
Romeo has joined us. You want to add something?
Hey guys, y'all were talking about Sami Zayn. Did you see his comment on Instagram on one of the Usos' pictures?
Yeah.
No, what did he say?
So one of the Usos is like showing off his new neck tattoo, whatever. And Sami Zayn writes, "Nice ink, my dog, representing the culture proudly."
Every time Sami Zayn does one of those, like, yeet, that. I
when he thought he was black in the Indies. Every time I see those,
he's bringing back the soul of his relationship with the human tornado.
Yeah. That's right. Oh my God,
Sami Zayn is so the dancing. Oh, it's the dancing too. It's just so obnoxious, but yet like just go out there and just be the stupidest thing that you can do. Like I know he's having so much fun doing it.
The best Twitter mix that I've seen is him doing the dance with the Usos and giving the handshake to "Well, for my niggas and we'll die for my niggas."
You gotta send me that, bro.
Please, can you please send me that? I need to see that. Please put that in the group chat. I need to see that. Oh my God.
I was dying laughing. Even my missus had to laugh at that. She was like, he's funny. He's funny. She doesn't watch a lot of Curry wrestling, but she was like, Sami Zayn is funny. And we got a super chat donation here from Bay Bay saying, "I'll take the $2 deal. Take a shot. You have to do it by the end of the show."
I'll do it behind the scenes. Do like exclusive content. How about that?
No, it has to be seen. It has to be seen on the show. It has to actually be seen on the show.
Like that'll be exclusive.
And after the heat.
There you go.
There you go. You wanted a super chat. You wanted a super chat that would give you a shot right now. Raging J from ALW, $10 super chat donation saying Raging J looks like he needs another shot, and Kate looks like a Kristen, then Kate.
Kristen's like Kristen Stewart almost. Yeah, I get it.
Or like the mom from the OC. I've been watching a lot of OC season 1. So.
Yo, for real. When I see like old heads getting all like weird and bitter about what we do at Fightful or like what credible news outlets are doing, I just like think about the fact that we had a show on Fightful called Degrassi Dudes, and I'm like, this is how we spend our time. You know what I mean? Like, you want to spend your time like being angry on Twitter about other wrestling media? Like, that's fine. We're gonna like hang out and we're gonna play games on Twitch and we're gonna like break down Degrassi for you. It sincerely helps me because sometimes that shit pisses me off, and I'm like, let's look at our day and then let's look at their day because that's some fun shit.
And it's always the ones that are actually in wrestling media that have something to say. It's like it really comes across as like jealousy.
When the hate don't work, they start telling lies. That's how I go, good brother.
There you go.
Yeah, he's getting drunk.
Did you hear the slur of how he said that?
I slurred?
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did.
I'm not even slurring. I'm chilling right now.
So you think. We can hear it differently.
I think you know me.
Oh, we also got a super chat donation here from the one and only AK Austin. who says, only sending this. Do you can get something to eat before more liquor.
We are eating Giordano's after this for our watch along. So I will be in a better place in my life.
See, that is like looking out for you. That is like money to combat the chaos that we created. That's actually really sweet.
That's very true. You're right.
There you go. We also got CM who's counting the shots in the chat with us. Thank you, CM.
You clearly can't count. You said 3 shots. You clearly
it's way more than 3.
You're tripping.
No, they just paid for those 3 shots, friend. You're actually on 4 shots that you need to take, but 3 were just paid for on the screen.
4 minus 3. That's what she meant.
Now he doesn't want to damn commit. See, this is the
what? Have y'all not seen me taking all these shots just now? Or are we blind?
I'm with Krssi.
All right, well.
CM saying she misses the
don't have the name if you're not gonna be about it. That's all.
That ain't my name. I'm sober. I'm sober guy. So technically, I shouldn't even drink.
Actually, that's a really fair point.
You put it out there that you had the shots, not us.
I did not. I was drinking. I was recreational drinking.
You're stuttering. That means you're lying. Please stop. It's okay, friend.
But you know what? I'll take another one. Hold up. Happy dig shot. It's empty. You see that?
Okay, so that's 2 now. You got 2 left. 2. No, actually it's 3, but we'll do 2.
Because we did have a super chat before that. So there you go. See
him? That means 2, friend. 2 left.
Begrudgingly agreeing.
In the words of Excalibur, you've got to give the people what they want. You know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Don't worry, guys. They got a liquor store across the street.
We'll be fine. Don't worry, everyone.
Get yourself something to eat too, because you gotta. That super chat was like protecting you, which is sweet.
John, you don't have no snacks in there. Like, give him some chips or something. He needs something to
snack
on right now.
What happens if he just takes these shots?
I gotta watch my figure. I have to watch my figure, so I'm only gonna eat certain things.
And look at this. Look at this. We got 400 rubies, which is the equivalent of $5. Valaby's, making sure I know. He says this is about $5. I popped so much when Sammy goes bet. If he wasn't like a real guy, he would have fallen apart months ago. Kate, you got way too many names. Just go Sheila on us.
Sheila. Okay, so I don't know how to even explain what the fuck Alex and I do on Tuesday nights, but NXT isn't good, guys. And so
it's not,
it's really bad. So
it's like part of a sandwich. It's like parts of the sandwich was good, and then the other stuff was just really soggy or just nasty.
This is like when you have cold cuts and the edges of it are all like crusty and dried out and shitty. That is what NXT is in the sandwich. So Alex and I have it's now a variety show more than a post show over there. And we have he does all these like weird impressions that people have asked for, and there's now 2 original characters called Linda and Sheila, but it is like the perfect like if we did a Karen, a Sheila is like very appropriate, but right now I'm Kirsten spelled like a white girl would spell it, so
with a Y instead of an I.
Yeah.
Very appropriate right there. Before Raw, though, this week, the latest in Triple H's re-signing of former stars started to gain reports. Fightful Select also reported that among names pitched or discussed for a WWE return include Braun Strowman. Before his release in 2021, he had re-signed with WWE in 2019, landing a major 7-figure multi-year deal that has paled in comparison to some of the newer contracts WWE has handed out over the last year. He actually got released in 2021, and he actually got down to the last few months of his deal, and sources in WWE said that he played hardball during his negotiations in 2019. In the year or so since leaving WWE, Fightful reports that his comments on independent wrestlers rubbed numerous talents the wrong way, though at this point they weren't even sure if he meant it or was doing it to garner heat. Other sources within WWE complimented Strowman for looking ring ready physically recently, saying that he looks better now than when he was in WWE. And since his release, he's worked only 8 matches, with half of them being on Control Your Narrative shows. Fightful not learned if how negotiations have been or how far they've been and what specific pitches were involving him. And people with influence in WWE would not confirm when asked by Fightful, but also did not deny it. In addition, Fightful confirmed that Andrew Zarian's report that there is interest in the former Bronson Reed on WWE side. Reed was heavily pushed during the end of the Triple H era of NXT, and he had several looks on the main roster before being released in 2021. They haven't learned if anything beyond general interest has been put forth. And on Thursday, PW Insider reported that multiple WWE sources have confirmed that Strowman is scheduled to be at Monday's WWE Raw taping in Kansas City on September 5th. So any thoughts from everybody on Braun Strowman returning to WWE? And does he have a real shot of kind of hitting his potential that was shown during the early part of his run on the main roster? Can they capture that Braun Strowman again, do you think, Krssi?
Gives a fuck.
Right. JJ, that's exactly how I really feel. When I heard this, I was like, why are we doing this? Like, where are we gonna put him? One, what, he's gonna go against Gunther? Like, we don't need him. Matter of fact, put him on NXT and go against the Encino Man. I don't know.
Encino Man?
You know the guy from
it? Is that movie with fucking Emilio Estevez?
Yeah, but who is Encino?
Von Wagner.
Oh, there you go.
Jan Wagner.
That him. That's
Jan.
Whatever his name is. But yeah, I mean, I guess they want him to be with Raquel because that's his girlfriend or whatever. But I'm here and there, but it doesn't matter to me. I don't care. Sorry.
So no one cares that Braun Strowman is coming back?
No.
I don't care. I don't care either. Don't worry at all.
I wasn't even gonna really talk about it, but since you want to talk, really, yeah, I don't care, to be honest. I don't know where they would put him to be. Like, we have so much other wrestlers that we can like get before Braun Strowman. That's all I'm saying. If that makes sense.
There you go. That's the one he wants.
Right. I don't see him going against Roman Reigns and beating him. No. Like, I don't see like what he would be doing. You understand what I'm saying? Like, sorry, not sorry. If that makes sense. Sorry.
This is fair. In
Kristen. Yo, it was so weird logging back in and seeing like my name be that, and I was like, I gotta stay committed to the gimmick, though, you know.
Oh man, that's
sorry about that.
Kirsten Dunst, shout out to Kirsten Dunst. I love her.
You do? Who's your favorite?
One of them.
Katie Vick.
Back in the day, one of many, exactly.
You just start naming names.
You know what's sad? You know what's crazy though? When I saw her name, the first thing I thought of was Small Soldiers out of all movies.
Good movie. Good movie.
It was a great movie, actually.
Good movie. Really good movie. One of other Triple H changes that's been going on is the return of first names, everyone. This is news, actually. Riddle is now Matt Riddle once again, with WWE star getting his first name on Monday's Raw. Monday's episode saw Riddle referred to as Matt Riddle during a promo segment with Seth Rollins.
You know what? I'm done. You know what?
Bro, what the
fuck? Keep my ex-wife's name out your fucking mouth. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, the reason Riddle's name was dropped back in late 2020 was that WWE believed fans that Googled Matt Riddle would find articles from his MMA career that focus on his failed marijuana drug test, with the stigma around marijuana changing and Riddle even making references to weed on a semi-regular basis.
The 420 shirt on. What do you mean?
His entire gimmick is that he smokes weed. Like, what the fuck? It's like, we don't want people to see this on the search, but we want.
That was definitely a Vince thing. That was definitely a
television.
Yeah, we're gonna sell.
I thought it would be other things. I thought it would be other things that you can Google Matt Riddle for. That might be the reason why. But this does make sense from WWE why this would be the reason why.
We don't want to Google search it, but let's make 420 merch with him saying "smoke that ass."
Right, that part.
Let's do that.
Let's have a segment with
There you go.
But
But they say that's no longer a concern. What do you think about Matt Riddle getting his name back, as well as the reports that Austin Theory is getting his first name back, Kate?
I think most people have a first and a last name. It's a good idea. Look, I get it from a legality standpoint too, of needing the clarity of differentiating somebody's real life name versus a character name. Like with the juggernaut that WWE is and all of the ways you use a character's name, I understand like having to give them a different name. Call him Pete Dunne Butch is not it. So I think people having a first and last name is good. I think it makes them sound like human beings. As far as the Riddle stuff goes, like that's hilarious. We don't want people to know that he was a legitimate fighter, and we definitely don't want crossover from another like combat sport leaking into our program. Is a weird thing. I thought it would be, hey, there were these allegations that were responded to by his lawyer on CD label printer paper that they didn't want being found out. But apparently they don't want people to know that he has a shoot fighting background, as opposed to Ronda Rousey, where that's so championed. It's just a very, very odd thing.
Brock Lesnar, they bring up him being UFC champion all the damn time.
Constantly. But there was a lot of things that didn't make sense at the end of that Vince era, so not surprised. But
keep the same energy. That's what they should be named. Instead of WWE, keep the same energy. CTKSE.
They talk about Randy Couture on WWE more than they talk about Randy Couture on UFC.
Shit,
because every time we see Brock Lesnar, and then he beat Randy Couture.
Well, and like Tyson Fury is going to Wales. You know what I mean? Like
he'll be ringside at Clash at the Castle.
That's
very selective. It's very selective with WWE, especially in that Vince era. But we're going to talk also what we missed this week is Kate's favorite show, NXT 2.0. They did 676,000 viewers this week. The show featured Ricochet making his return to NXT to confront and challenge Carmelo Hayes for the North American Championship.
This is going to be a banger.
Collide. We also saw the returns of Gunther, Finn Balor, Shayna Baszler, Rhea Ripley, Ciampa, and Butch Pete Dunne via video call to motivate individuals in the two big title unification matches at Worlds Collide. Gallus,
you know that. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
You know what NXT was like? You know when they had Power Rangers and like the old Power Rangers had left and then the new ones was there and then they all came back?
They switched it.
That's what NXT was about. You had Tommy come and you go and Finn Balor which is Tommy, go and confront
Braun.
Yeah, him. The Steiner boy's son. Then you have, Shayna Baszler, who maybe was I don't even want to. She was like Rita. She was Rita, basically. And then she goes and, she confronts the Pink Ranger or whatever. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it was like really like.
Well,
like,
was more Rita.
More Rita?
She's more Rita. She's not a Power Ranger because she's mean. So you can't call her a Power Ranger because she's not good.
She'd be like one of the evil Zords that fight the Megazords.
There you go.
We got people already debating you, saying Finn Balor is not Tommy.
He's more like the freaking Blue Ranger or some shit.
Yeah, he's more like Billy.
He's like, he can't be Billy. How dare you guys?
Not the black guy, not Zach. It'd be Adam.
Not right, exactly. You either got to be Tommy or the Red Ranger.
Jason, there you go.
Jason, thank you.
Bell says Jason. Yeah, there you go.
Finish Jason, not Tommy. Okay, then who would we pick as Tommy? Not Ricochet.
Ciampa's Tommy.
Ciampa would definitely be more of a Tommy, yeah.
Because remember, Tommy started off as a heel.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay, you're right. Okay, fine. You're right.
That's still the greatest storyline in Power Rangers history. I don't care what anybody says.
Yes, it is.
Evil Tommy, the Green Ranger,
the White Ranger,
to then finally turn in babyface.
How the song goes.
I mean,
Like,
he's
that's-
Tommaso Ciampa. He should be Tommy, right? Like Tommy Chomps. There you go.
There you go.
There you go. That makes it. Thank you, Kristen. We appreciate you so much for that
You're
one.
very welcome. You're very welcome.
Oh, we also had Gallus beat Diamond Mine in a 6-man tag. Nikki TSH and Doudrop made their returns to NXT to challenge Katana Chance and Kaden Carter for the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships at Worlds Collide. It's been a short build, but it's best to kind of fill the show with a bunch of big matches. What did you think over the last 2 weeks with the build up to Worlds Collide, Kristen?
I almost didn't respond, especially Chrissy's name is also like a crit. You know what? I actually really liked the way that this last week went. I'm very excited for Carmelo Hayes and Ricochet. I think the women's tag situation is interesting. And my only complaint is I wish with all the cameos that they did, it was spread out over a little bit more time. Yes. But this felt more like brand supremacy than anything we've seen in a really long time. You had main roster people coming down saying,
this is better than Survivor Series, friends.
Way better, because you also like Gunther saying like you're fighting for not only NXT UK, but you're fighting for the future of NXT Europe was like really good stuff. So I liked that they assigned weight to all of this. Like this felt very like I wish they had done stuff like this when instead of like this side has blue t-shirts and this side has red.
Right.
That is brand supremacy. And also we're gonna have everybody cross over rosters anyway. It doesn't matter. So I feel like that build was very, very good. I think ring-wise, this will probably be really great. Miko Satomura being involved, it makes things very, very interesting in the women's picture. I think Mandy's going to win by pinning Blair Davenport, but like it's nice to feel like things are important and also have seeds of doubt. And that goes for the main roster too. Like I could see Shayna Baszler winning. I could also see Liv Morgan retaining. I could see Roman or Drew winning in the situation. So it's nice to not feel like it's so predictable, even when I have thoughts or inclinations about what might happen. Like the alternative is also realistically feels a lot more possible. So I think this has been good. And I think it'll be healthy for NXT.
And it won't be like the main event of Raw where the surprise winner in any of those matches is not considered a disappointment. So that's the other good thing about the matches you mentioned for Clash and Worlds Collide.
Yeah,
that both options are good.
I get it, and that I think Sasha and Naomi are coming back, and they don't want to make an important women's stable feel transitional. We would have forgiven you, Hunter. We would have forgiven you. And Aliyah can't wrestle. I'm sorry, she's not good in the ring. Like, and she didn't even participate. They had a tag team match on the SmackDown before this. And she did one Luthez press on the outside and didn't do anything in the match.
Right, because she was
in your own tag team match. What the hell are you doing? So I don't know. Disappointing, man. Disappointing.
People don't react to you in your hometown. You know there's an issue. Like literally, I do a review with Dutch Mantel every week, and he's like, how does this person spend 7 years at the Performance Center and didn't learn a thing?
Dude, it's like, what's crazy
She's pretty.
But like,
I'm sorry to say, and I don't want to like.
That make her a valet. Like when you go back, I remember watching that Breaking Ground series, and like Bayley and Aliyah were at the training center at the same time. And you look at where Bayley is, and you look at where Aliyah is. And Bayley had been there a couple years, but like you look at like what Takeover Brooklyn was, which was around the same time, and where Aliyah's at. And I try really hard not to criticize talent. I try really hard to criticize creative direction, because my thing is, if you're trying, you're trying. So, but like at some point, we gotta see some marked progress on television, right?
Yeah. 100% agree with you there. Unfortunately, we come to that time of what we miss where we have to talk about John's favorite show, NWA 74 nights 1 and 2.
Oh no, my internet again. Oh no.
Right. I have to go, guys.
You want to hear this stat, Krssi? Krssi,
No.
you want to hear this stat? 31 matches over 2 days from NWA. They had 14 matches on night 1, 17 matches on night 2. Camille beat Taya Valkyrie to retain the NWA Women's World Championship.
I got it right. That right.
There you go.
That's the NWA. I hate. That's one of the pay-per-views. I'm like, oh, why do I have to pick for these people? I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck is happening.
Fair. You had Cyan beat Jax Dane to win the NWA National Heavyweight Championship. Homicide defeated Kerry Morton to retain the NWA Junior Heavyweight title. You had Lala Rebellion beat Hawks Airy to win the vacant NWA World Tag Team Championships after Davey Boy Smith Jr. was unable to compete. Max the Impaler won the Burke Invitational to earn a shot at the NWA Women's World Championship. That would happen on night 2. Camille defeated Max the Impaler to retain the NWA Women's World Championship, and Trevor Murdoch beat Tyrus to retain the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. How is this the main event? That was the main event, ladies and gentlemen. And the Fixers won the NWA US Tag Team titles in a battle royal. John, any positive words or encouragement for NWA after this 2-night event?
Let me think about that. I like that Cyan won because underneath the mask it's Robert Anthony, and he's a really great independent wrestler based out of here in Chicago. So I've stepped over his blood in the Logan Square Auditorium. So I'm a big fan of Cyan. But yeah, it was just. You guys can definitely get more of my thoughts on Dark Power, where we cover NWA Power on Tru Heel Heat. But it's just a situation where Billy is trying to do way too much of a nostalgia act, and it backfires on him a lot when it comes to kind of building that audience, because this is their WrestleMania, and if they had 200 people at the Chase in St. Louis, I would be surprised. They were and it's really funny because one of the commentators, the commentary team, Tim Storm is great, but they have Velvet Sky and Joe Galley, and Galley over emphasizes everything, and so he'll do the people are standing here in the Chase, and they'll cut to the crowd, and there are clearly empty seats, and it's this is 200 people. What? Galley, you got to calm down. So it's it's kind of a, they're running shows, they're making money, I assume, otherwise they wouldn't be. So, congratulations to them for that. That's really the only thing I can say.
I think it's so bold that you think Billy Corgan is making money.
It's either that or those Spotify checks for Smashing Pumpkins is keeping this company afloat.
JJ, you all right over there, friend? You look out of it, yo.
All right, that was not it.
He looks out of it over there. He's just looking up in the sky.
He's still sober, for sure.
Okay.
Fingers crossed. Impact on Action also was this past week. They had Matt Taven and Mike Bennett of the OGK.
No, we can't. I'm sorry. We can't. I can't not talk about how much Tyrus sucks real quick.
We're going to give you the spotlight here. Yes.
I would rather watch Aliyah shit in a bucket than watch Tyrus wrestle ever the fuck again. And the idea that Billy Corgan thinks it's because of his politics, which suck, or the allegations against him, which are trash, and that is not his complete lack of in-ring ability to do anything, and that he is a main event talent. You had 30 plus matches, and your main event had the Funkadactyl in it. Okay, that's all. This company had Ricky Starks. This company had Zicky Dice. This company had Thunder Rosa. And now it has main event Tyrus, who is the worst TV champion on wrestling television of all time. I'd rather watch Disco Inferno do anything, but that's not true. That's not true. Nah, I take that back. But my God. I don't understand why Billy Corgan hates wrestling and his own product. What are we doing? You didn't prove a point, except that everybody else was right about how bad you were at this. Like Tyrus is terrible.
Like I don't understand.
The funny part of it is that this week on Power they had a backstage interview with Trevor, and Trevor's like trying to put over that title match, and he's like, you know, it was what they said it was, the Haas fight of the century. And I was like, what century? Like, what are you talking about, buddy? Like, what is wrong with you?
Who had any positive things to say about this?
It's kind of funny because like Trevor Murdoch is actually a serviceable wrestler no, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm not saying he's great. I'm saying he's serviceable. Like you can get a match out of him, but like it also depends on who you put him in the ring with. And the fact that this was supposed to be, it was originally Trevor Murdoch versus Nick Aldis, who had a good match last year at NWA 73, is absolutely batshit insane that he decided to pull Nick Aldis for a bullshit storyline reason that he came up with just so he could put Tyrus in there.
I put up a poll that was, who would you rather see in the main event? Robert O'Neill, who's hilarious on Twitter, a shoe, just a shoe, or Tyrus. And Tyrus pulled 3%. 3% of people would rather see a fucking shoe in the main event of an NWA pay-per-view. And God bless
What
Robert
kind
O'Neill
of shoe, though?
I didn't even specify.
Guys.
Kenny Omega in the main event.
Guys, we've reached our NWA limit. We have to move on.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Impact on Access TV had Matt Taven and Mike Bennett of the OGK defeat the Good Brothers to win the Impact World Tag Team titles. You had Mickie James made her return and set down the challenge for herself.
She's another one that gets with age.
The Knockouts World title.
Did you see one more shot?
Yeah. There you go. I was going to get to that. One more shot for you. One more shot at the Knockouts World title, or if she loses, she will retire. So basically the Ric Flair 2008 storyline for Mickie. Yes, Speedball Mike Bailey beat Kenny King after a restart to retain the X Division title as well. And you asked for more shots. Here you go, drunk guy. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Is CM with the super chat donation saying,
I already got one poured up too.
Shot time. Kate's name hasn't changed yet. See, we got that. We also got Bay with the super chat. Oh, we already read that one.
I think a couple of those are old, but that's okay.
Just in case you didn't get that one.
I don't make it home tonight.
Oh, now he's singing. Okay.
One last shot from me. Cheers, says ALW. That's a $10 one. So that's an instant shot. Thank you for that. And look at this. We got a big one from our good friend Chase Oliver, who says $18 super chat. Who says
a shot and a half.
Stay hydrated.
Like, do like drink champs and just drink like half the cup. You know what I'm saying? Because once they're drunk.
I ain't no punk ass motherfucker.
You know what?
Yeah, take another one. Chase gave us $18. $18.
That actually gave you 3 right there.
Chase you when I found you, good brother. I'm gonna chase your ass.
You're gonna chase you.
He put $18, bro. Chase him, man. It's crazy.
There you go. And then we got another super chat donation here from Alan Weinstein, who says, now here's the real last round from me. And how you doing, Kaylee? You don't look like a Kristen anymore. There you go. Let's put.
I don't know what I'm looking at anymore. How about that?
She's not. Yeah, Kaylee. There you go.
I changed it.
Kaylee. Yes.
Changed it for you.
That is how they would spell it too. Kaylee.
Of course.
Yes.
Oh,
Shayna Baszler. Rita
Baszler.
Rita
Why is Tommaso Ciampa serving a look though in that?
Right, he's definitely serving some face right there. He's serving face and some greenery right there, yo.
I love
there
it.
you go. There you go.
I mean, it was after Tommy went face, but you know, Ciampa said that Goldie was talking to him. White Ranger had the Tiger.
This is true. Did you spill some on you or something?
I got the chills. I don't know what the chills.
He's drinking so much he's getting chills, y'all.
Chills, man. I'm having flashbacks. That's what it is.
He's getting
every THH before All Out when you guys are here. This is the rule now.
That's it.
You always get this quality content. This is what you're here for. And then the final thing, what we missed, I went to GCW Black Label Pro 4 Cups stuff last night. You had Tom Lawler and Killer Kelly defeat Brian Alvarez and Billy Starks. You also had Speedball Mike Bailey defeat Kylie Ray. Marco Stunt almost got murdered by Shane Mercer, throwing him into the crowd, flipping him all over the place. Really good stuff on that show. And Ernest the Cat Miller. I got to record Somebody Call My Mama from Ernest the Cat. Yes, coming out to that song. So that was a highlight for me as a fan. Yes, and John Moxley, the GCW World Champion, was there. He came out and confronted Nick Gage ahead of their title versus career match coming up in October.
Same day as Extreme Rules, too.
Yes. But let's get into some WWE news with our news rundown. Keep those shot super chats coming in, your comments for sure.
And the food ones. Those
food ones.
Those food ones, those drink some water ones.
That's why I fuck with you. See, you worry about my health. He talking about shots. He said food. What's talking about here?
I'm here for the entertainment. That's what I'm
That's
here
not
for.
entertainment.
For us,
when you had to carry a freaking body out the house, how entertaining will you be?
Josh said
it's not drunk entertainment. It's pro drinking, guys. All right.
Yeah.
All we're here for. WWE news this week. Several top WWE executives, including Stephanie McMahon, Nick Khan, and Triple H, have received raises. And Triple H is now the content officer of the company. WWE issued a new SEC filing this week per Wrestling
not have no type of budget cuts coming no time soon neither.
Well, to be fair, they kind of already did that with NXT UK. They didn't even have the budget cut. They budget cut a whole brand. Okay,
fine. You're right.
So, hey, gotta save that money so Triple H can get his raise. Everybody wants Triple H to get a raise. They announced those raises as well as different promotions for people within WWE. But like Triple H, he's bringing back a lot of old talent. One of the talents that's been discussed during the week is the Good Brothers, who are now free agents after their Impact Wrestling contracts expired. A new report had details on that. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, the team is expected to work in New Japan Pro Wrestling now that the company is more open to foreign wrestlers than it was during the pandemic. This is not a big surprise, as Carl Anderson is the current and never openweight champion and having won the title back in June. The report notes that WWE has expressed interest in the team to potentially return. And while the team did make several interviews critical of the company back in 2020, it's possible that they could decide to go back if the money was good enough. Finn Balor recently said that he's confident that the two will eventually return to WWE, and the team also worked in AEW besides their run in Impact. Kate, do you think we're going to get a Bullet Club reunion part 76 at this point in WWE, and it can actually work under Triple H? That's the better.
You think so?
I'm not like the biggest, and it's nothing against him. It's just a matter of taste. Like the biggest Good Brothers fan in the world. I don't know if it works with like WWE main roster, but I would love for them to prove me wrong. AJ Styles feels a little directionless right now, so it would be fun to have like that reunited. I think AJ Styles will have direction after this pay-per-view cycle, regardless. Like I think he was just someone that the reset button is coming a little bit later than some of the people we've seen so far, but prove me wrong. I would love it. I don't think it's the fit, but I would love it. I would love it if they, like, I'm all for people getting paid and being happy where they work. You know what I mean? So if that's the route for them, that's awesome. I didn't like love their stuff in AEW. The sophomoric stuff got kind of old for me. But New Japan is like where I've liked the iteration of who they are the most. So as a fan, that's what I want. But if they want to get paid and go back to WWE, God bless them.
That's how I feel with the Good Brothers, and same with Jonah. I feel like they're better or presented in New Japan. I don't know. I don't know where that came
accomplished.
from.
Mission
Yes.
accomplished.
It's the tequila talking now, friends.
I love it.
That's what's happening.
I love it.
It's tequila time.
Frantic World says, "Look like drunk guy JJ is coming back." Yes, he's back. He's a bit.
He will be gone after this weekend. Don't you guys get your hopes up. Sober guy is a thing.
You like being sober, friend? Is that what it is?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I don't know. I kind of like this
no
crooner.
Fornicating, no alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
Just living a healthy lifestyle.
One of those words.
Got it.
All right.
Like, where did the fornicating?
That's a sin. That's a part of vices. You know, people are sex addicts and stuff, drug addicts, alcoholics. This all goes into like one thing.
Oh, so you feel like the alcohol makes you? Oh, wow, this is groundbreaking. No, wait, hold on, stop. I need to get to the root of this, friends.
We may need to have Jay.
Did I get dark? Did I just get dark?
No,
okay.
Well,
no.
Let's say we may need to have you be Malakai Black's life coach.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to get to. So, see what I'm saying? Like you know, you understand what he's probably going through, so you can probably help him or coach him through what he needs help with.
Life is life.
So you don't want to. You stop the drinking. What did you say?
It really is.
What did he just say?
He said life is life.
Life is crazy, man. You gotta weather the storm.
I mean, I would think that it would be, but okay, like.
I'm just here trying to,
I just love the leap that we made from crooning Jonah, like just singing about Jonah. So life is life, man.
You said that. I love that song.
I love it. I love it so much.
What are we doing?
No idea. I have no idea. Life is indeed life. This is great quotes. Great quotes.
You gotta put that in your Twitter bio.
Life is life. WWE Raw has undergone a number of changes since Triple H took over, and according to Fightful Select, reports that several sources at USA Network and NBC Universal have spoke with WWE about the changes, which have led to an increase in the ratings and expressed happiness from the tweaks in the show. According to the report, one longtime employee that has worked with WWE for years said that the current ratings are more in line with what USA Network expected when Raw's deal was extended, and they noted that the pandemic changed everything and never imagined that Raw would drop below 2 million viewers, particularly on a consistent basis. That source was quoted as saying, "The following weeks will be the real test, but the results from the first Monday had me personally very excited." Another source at Universal who said that they stay more on top of wrestling than others said that they didn't expect each drastic change as it has been seen, but that you can't argue with the new buzz around Raw. They also expect SmackDown's ratings on Fox to increase as well. And one source at USA Network said that they've seen the show more as appointment viewing as of late, and that it felt more natural than it has. They added that there's more talk about Raw at the network than at any point since their new rights deal. And another long-time USA Network employee noted that the relationship between the network and WWE has always been very easygoing, but added that many people in USA were happy to see the new creative changes and would be surprised if USA didn't try to renew WWE programming when negotiations begin next year. Krssi, you've been critical of Raw in the past. Do you think that it's now something that you have to watch live on Mondays with all the surprise returns and all the interesting stuff they got going on under Triple H?
I don't know if I have to watch them live per se. I mean, between, watching our watch-alongs and things like that, I don't have to watch them live, but, it's great to see them, see what happens. It's great, cool. I'm happy with the direction that it's going, and I hope that they can do that for SmackDown, because SmackDown was like a shit show. And I mean, Raw has always been the A show, but I felt like even at one time I felt like SmackDown was like that A show. So with that being said, I feel like the direction of like put all your love and care into SmackDown right now, because that's who really is suffering.
Yeah,
you can't say anything about NXT, so
I've been saying this for weeks though, that SmackDown is like has a cup to Triple H. Like, can we get the one return superstar? Can we get somebody where we can get a Johnny Gargano? We can't get a Dexter Lumis. Can't get a Dakota Kai. Oh, we can get the Hit Row. We can get Destiny's Child with no Beyonce. Okay,
with no Beyonce. Right? You give us you give us the leftovers. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the people, the house people have already eaten. Now the people outside got to get, you know, get the leftovers.
This whole company is just ex-WWE, guys. That's been my narrative of things. Like, WWE is just a bunch of WWE rejects at this point. You know what I mean? What are they going to do when the pops run out? But I think my guess is they're thinking, though I agree Raw is by far the strongest show. And, of course, I cover NXT and SmackDown, so fuck me. But
right, exactly. See, that's what I'm saying. I cover SmackDown. It's just, well, I haven't did it in a while because he's been on the leave. But still, nevertheless, it's just like, it's just been a shit show of a show. Yeah,
my thinking is they have Roman and the title on SmackDown, and so all the pops on the Raw side have been to make USA happy with, you know, the title primarily is on SmackDown, but we do have star power here. Oh, and like they only have the US title because the IC title is on SmackDown too. So I think my guess is Raw has been so pop heavy because you have the most important guy in the company and the world championship on SmackDown. But it is funny how the 3-hour program is kicking the shit out of a 2-hour program right now. Like, I didn't think we would see that. And that's really been the case. So
yeah, it's all the exciting stuff is happening on Raw, and it does feel now more than ever I had to watch it live, which is really tough when his show starts at 1 a.m. when I was in the UK. I just will say that. I would make it to hour 3 and then I would go to sleep and wake up in the morning and watch hour 3. That's what I would usually do. But speaking of a show that has 3 hours of programming throughout the week, AEW, and the big AEW news from this week. This is one I'm sure I'm going to get the thoughts of the ladies. I'm going to save the best for last as the thoughts from the ladies on this. But let's talk about Tony Khan's most controversial comment from the latest media call in the last few months. CM Punk and Thunder Rosa.
I might have to take a shot with JJ for this.
Both went down with injuries during their reigns as AEW World Champion and Women's World Champion, respectively. But while CM Punk announced his injury in the ring on AEW Rampage, receiving around 8 minutes to cut a promo in person, Rosa was given less than a minute in a backstage interview with Tony Schiavone on an episode of Dynamite. When asked about the disparity, AEW CEO Tony Khan was blunt about the difference in time Rosa and Punk got when announcing their injuries. He said, and I quote, "I give the interview the TV time based on what I believe is going to draw the most ratings. If you want my honest opinion on an 8-minute Thunder Rosa promo versus an 8-minute CM Punk promo, then you're going to get an honest answer. And I think the 8-minute CM Punk promo is probably going to do a better rating. To come out and do a live 8-minute promo, I'm not sure that would have been good for the television show, to be honest with you."
For a 2-hour show? No. He lying. He dead ass lying. No, that see, y'all making me do. Y'all trying to make me go. I'm not trying to go. I swear, I'm really not trying to go there because this shit right here. Now, and I'm trying to refrain from saying the word, but I can't right now.
That was fucked up. That was corny on his part.
Right, like don't say. Somebody please get a hold of his phone. You and your friends, you need your good friends to check on you, because what you're doing right now is not cool at all.
You invested enough of her to be
right.
So if something's going wrong, you don't shit on her like that. You made her the world champion for a reason. No matter how you feel, does the best rating or whatever, you're talking like a fucking mark. And this is why you call you a fucking mark. Because you say shit like that. You give her time. Let her say what she got to say. She's the champion. And then she's still the champion. Because she's still
the champion. Then you don't even give her the respect of like letting her do it in the ring. You make her do it backstage with Tony. It's like such a shit show. Like, you don't give this woman any kind of fucking respect. But let that have been Britt fucking Baker, the Charlotte Flair of AEW. Let that shithead fly in there, and she would have had stars and stripes and this and this and that. It's just so unfair. I'm sorry. It's so unfair.
You fucking mark!
That's every time I hear a stupid ass Tony Khan comment, that's all that plays in my head. MJF calling him a fucking mark.
I'm really glad he said it, because now I don't have to connect dots for people. I don't have to infer shit for people. He went out there and he buried his own women's champion. He flat out told you he doesn't care about women's wrestling, and I have known that all along, because tell me CM Punk would have his first promo be getting interrupted and hit in the face with cake and told to go back to Mexico. Tell me it doesn't have to do with the creative direction of your women's division, Tony Khan, because that is the biggest load of crap I have ever heard. How are women supposed to be draws when you give them 7 minutes at 9:30 and a segment that goes to picture-in-picture and a full commercial cutaway?
Yeah, what?
And you're going to say they can't get over?
At least 3 times.
It boggles my mind, because Thunder Rosa was white hot in every arena she went into, and you gave her the strap and you halted her momentum by doing that. That is only on you as creative.
Every week you halted her momentum. Every week.
For God's sake, like, to pretend, if you have the slightest bit of media training, by the way, and I mean the slightest, I'm a publicist, like, as a shoot job. If you have the slightest bit of media training and somebody puts you in an either or situation, the way you take control of that situation is to get yourself out of the either or. To say anybody can draw, man or woman, like CM Punk, is ridiculous. There is a happy medium between 8 minutes at the beginning of your Rampage episode and less than a minute backstage for your women's champion. But you got Billy Gunn on my TV in 2022. Like, you can't put that segment on Rampage instead of one of your fucking million, like, squash matches, or getting Parker Boudreaux on my television. Like, get out of here with that, man. It's the biggest load of crap. And I've heard every excuse, including stuff like this. Like,
I would have rather him say something like, I really didn't know what to do. I didn't know what direction I should have pushed her in.
God,
I would have rather you say
I was wrong. Like, say you were fucking wrong, because you're wrong.
Just say that. I would rather you admit that you didn't know what the fuck you were doing.
Like, the wheels, that's all it is. The wheels in his thought process don't start going until like 2 paragraphs of a question in, because he did go on to say that he found out too late and didn't have time to fit it in. If he just would have stuck to that, that would have been much better than what he said.
I'm not even buying that part, though. No, SP, that's really like a crock of shit.
But at least you're not. This is, like he said, this is a blatant burying of Thunder Rosa. No one's going to draw more than an 8-minute CM Punk promo. He could have said that. No one's going to draw more. It's a CM Punk. You're a biggest star. Why did you have to bury Thunder Rosa? And it's a self-fulfilling prophecy of, like you both said, you always put the women in the same position, a position where it's kind of like the bathroom break, and you make it feel like that, and you make it feel like you don't care about the women's division because you have one match and you don't mention a woman for an hour and a half of your 2-hour show, and then they come out and then they're treated with the picture-in-picture break. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy of no 8-minute promo from any woman is going to draw more than CM Punk, because you treat CM Punk like an actual star and you don't treat the women like they even matter.
But the problem with what you said,
a match on Rampage live.
But that, like, they wanted the go home from that to be Hobbs beating up Ricky Stark. So I get that, because that's a really fun thing to go home on. But at the same time, there's a distinction between the problem with what he said and the problem of how he views the women's division. Had he said, I found out late and I didn't really know what to do, I guarantee you if they found out 8 minutes before the show that CM Punk wasn't cleared to wrestle, they still would have at least sent him down to the fucking ring. Yeah. That's not an excuse either. So what he said was atrocious, but there's a much bigger issue here, which is how he views his own women's division. And I'm sick of every excuse that I've heard. And from
I would not be surprised if, when her contract is up, Rosa decides to leave.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. Oh, she's definitely going. She's not staying there. She can't stand Britt Baker. She can't stand Tony does not listen. She's trying to give direction. She's trying to help this division, and he won't let her. So I'm going to take my shit to South Beach and I'm going to fucking leave.
Yeah.
I just don't understand
that part.
The good litmus test to me is if it was reversed, would you think this was fair? If you treated the men like this, would you think this was fair? And the answer, of course, is absolute not. There seems to be this idea that female wrestling fans are some mythical unicorn and you have to treat women's wrestling differently. We just want to see kick-ass women kick other women's asses. Like, that's it. We don't need special storylines that feel like drama. We don't need reality television shows. We just want to see the same shit and the same playbooks that you run out there with the men being done for women. Diamante has been working there for 3 years and hasn't gotten the graphic. She's not signed. But you have the money for Parker Boudreaux. You have it for 2 times. Zach Clayton is apparently working there full time. So I don't want to hear about the hiring bullshit anymore because where's my Willow Nightingale graphic? Like, there's just so many excuses that are being made. And it is, since day one, been the biggest criticism of your company. And it's the thing you refuse to fix the least. I will never understand it because the talent is there now. They're not all too green. Ruby Soho being on my screen shouldn't feel like a treat. I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
Yeah. And you know, to your point about the idea of female wrestling fans being a myth, when I watch Dynamite weekly with my fiance, outside of the top stars, the Moxleys, the Omegas, the Punks, and a couple people that she likes, her eyes will always be glued to any women's segment that ever happens on Dynamite.
I watch Dynamite with my fiance too, yeah, so I understand.
Yeah.
I know he lying. Shut the fuck.
And yeah,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I apologize. I'm so sorry.
No.
I'm sorry.
Rosa did put out a tweet.
If you want to, I'll help you go ring shopping, friend. You want to go buy her a ring? Let's go. I'm with you, friend. Let's do that.
Rosa did put out.
You want love back? I know it. You want to be loved. It's all right.
A tweet where she quoted Owen Hart saying that it's time for a change. So I don't know. It's very weird timing. Like when Triple H had a bad ending to Raw and Tony Khan put out a tweet. It's always very convenient timing when people put out tweets like that. So we don't know if that means that Thunder Rosa
a bitter ex-girlfriend. Every time something go wrong, yeah, you see, that's why you should have stayed with me. That's why you see what happens when you leave me.
They wanted to make Thunder Rosa a referee in WWE. I'm hoping it means a heel turn, but
thank you, Kate. Because I was like, I see a bunch of people like, oh, maybe that means that she's going to WWE. I don't think that's the best solution for her.
No. Hey, it's not always going to the ops.
Yeah, like
no.
And the thing is, the crazy thing is that when you think about it, if that's what WWE wanted for her, all you really have to do to make her happy is do the bare minimum. Because WWE wasn't even willing to do that for Thunder Rosa. Just keep her happy. It's pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward.
It's just if someone got themselves over and you giving them the title halts their momentum, that's on you. Yeah. That's not on the performer. She proved she could get over. She was over as hell. Giving her the title shouldn't be something that is an anchor. And I'll say this though too, they have a propensity, men and women, to put way more value in the chase than in the reign. We've seen that a lot. So I think that happened with Adam Page. I think that's happened with Wardlow. Like, that is not female specific, but it is also happening with the women for sure.
Yeah, it seems like they care more about building the people up for the title, and then when they add the title, they're like, "Oh, the work here's done. Let's work on something."
Right, like we gave them the title. Now that we can go give it to another person.
Yep. Some good news. There's good news with AEW backstage. Sammy Guevara and Eddie Kingston have reportedly squashed their beef ahead of last.
Good news. I want to see them fight, man.
That's basically what you're saying.
Ahead of Wednesday's AEW Dynamite, both Fightful Select and PW Insider reported that the two spoke before Dynamite and resolved their issues. According to the reports, Kingston and Guevara met backstage before Dynamite and had a conversation, shaking hands and agreeing to move past their issues.
Is there footage of this?
PW Insider notes that the two apologized for their issues, which took place over the last several weeks. And one source noted that Kingston accepted full responsibility and said they think the two are smart enough to make money off of the matter and work with one another, adding that they didn't believe it ever got so bad that they wouldn't have to be able to do that. So maybe we still get this. I don't know. Maybe in Grand Slam. I wanted Kingston versus Punk at Grand Slam, but maybe we get Kingston versus Guevara in Eddie's hometown of New York.
I want Eddie and Punk.
Me too.
I'm interested in an Eddie Sammy program if they choose to go back to it. But for Arthur Ashe, I want Eddie and Punk.
You going to Arthur Ashe?
I am. I'm
Liddy, let's go.
Oh, we gonna beat it. Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
In this bitch not itch. Let's go.
I'm making you shots there too. How about that?
Yes.
Let's go.
Don't worry,
This is gonna be Liddy.
Life is life. Yes.
Life is life.
That's it.
Great job. Our producer is on point today. On point. Oh, you did that. Nice. Nice. As we discussed last week, Warner Brothers Discovery is said to have sent the memo to AEW regarding toning down the language, and some fans have already noticed that Ace Steel ended up dropping an F-bomb during his segment with CM Punk, and PW Insider had an update on the fallout. According to the report, AEW talents were informed today, and after the segment, Steel immediately returned backstage and took responsibility for saying the word on the air, and Steel agreed to pay a fine for using the word and has paid it already. Steele's fine for the era will be donated to a charity, and AEW's communication on the issue reportedly praised Steele for taking immediate action as an example on how to deal with errors and accept responsibility for when an error might occur. And speaking of WBD, TNT and TBS are under new ownership due to the Warner Brothers Discovery's merger, and new details have came out regarding that. The WBD CEO David Zaslav has been shaking up the existing structures in order to make the new company profitable, and there's been a lot of controversial moves considering the canceling of the Batgirl movie as well as several shows on HBO Max. According to the report earlier this week from Business Insider, Zaslav is prioritizing TBS and TNT and is considering putting repeats of HBO and HBO Max series on the networks as well, such as The Sopranos, The Flight Attendant, Hacks, Secession, and the like. TBS has already begun experimenting with this, having aired the first seasons of Flight Attendant and Titans before the new seasons of each premiere on HBO Max. So it's kind of shuffling and a weird time to be doing that because AEW is going into their contract year next year. Do you think that we're going to hear the end of F-bombs and shit bombs and bitches and all this stuff that we usually hear from AEW now? Krssi saying no.
I hope not. I love that shit. Keep it coming. Fuck it all. F it. Do it all. I want you to keep saying that shit.
I kind of wish they had intervened when Dan Lambert was calling Ty Mello a whore every week. That is far more offensive to me than somebody saying the S word. But for the purposes of maintaining their audience and their ratings, I'm sure, like, I think we will have it turned down a little bit. I think Ace Steel just was in a really organic moment and just said what he said. So good for him on taking it. I would be surprised if CM Punk isn't Venmoing him right now for that that's fine. But
he's like, here's the money I saved not paying for Cole Cabana's lawyer.
That's right. Sending it over right now. Sending it over right now.
I'll send it over Venmo. There you real quick. And not only does the East Coast get Grand Slam coming up in a few weeks, we're also going to get Full Gear. As Fightful Select has reported, the show is expected to take place in Newark, New Jersey. And while a date is not official, the eternal listing is for Saturday, November 19th. So East Coast, we get something. See, Romeo's happy in the background. He says Chicago gets everything. We're getting two big shows.
And Dynamite at Philly the week after Grand Slams. Come on.
Yeah, in Atlantic City too. We got a lot. We've gotten Grand Slam, we've
Atlantic
gotten
City.
Newark, we've got Long Island, we've gotten a lot over here, but it does seem like every pay-per-view defaults to Chicago. This not selling out might be the indicator that maybe we've got back to this well a little bit too many times. But.
There was a lot of empty seats at Rampage yesterday, so I think they might be able to pull out and get a close to a sellout for All Out this year, but I didn't think it was a wise decision running All Out that close after Forbidden Door. And All Out's supposed to be a bigger show, so shouldn't that be at United Center too? So
technically, we got a fucking main event announced freaking 4 days before the pay-per-view, and it's not really going to help either. So.
Tony Khan, this is also on you, because you can stop this.
That is an excellent pull from an excellent promo.
Yes. One of my favorite Eddie Kingston promos. And just in case you didn't think we had interesting news like with the WWE news, here is Triple H's comments from his latest interview with Ariel Helwani of BT Sports. He talked about NXT and AEW going head-to-head on Wednesday nights and how AEW beat NXT, leading to NXT moving to Tuesday nights. And Triple H did not pull any punches on if NXT was under pressure to beat AEW. He said, and I quote, no, people put so much pressure on this competitive war, quote unquote. It never was that. First of all, they beat our developmental system. Good for them.
He's stupid for saying that shit out loud.
Why the fuck you lying?
Yep, thank you. Tell him, JJ.
No wonder he's bringing Braun Strowman back. He likes
exactly.
All right, there you go. He says there was
In what fucking reality?
He said there was never pressure of you have to beat them. It was never that. It was put on the best product we could. It shifted over time during the pandemic. All of that shifted. The opportunity
to blame
it back
COVID. You
to
was
what
such
it truly was. When you look at a lot of the stars that have come through that system that had either started from zero or had very little exposure anywhere and then became massive stars with us, it's so many people. We had lost the ability to take those people and groom them from the ground up. We really had. It's the biggest change that's out there. In response to that, Chris Jericho, who can always be count on to respond, said in an interview with our good friend Alex McCarthy of Inside the Ropes, talking about Triple H's comments, and responded, well, I mean, once again, it is just changing the narrative and changing history, which makes me laugh because when it started, it was not developmental. It was the third brand. And it's not a sprint, it's a marathon and all that other bullshit that they said. So, of course, we beat the developmental or whatever you want to call it. Who gives a shit? It's such old news and the show sucks. NXT sucks. It's not a good show and they know it. And whether they were punished or not, they probably were.
He chose violence that day. He chose violence. I love it. It's fine.
He broke the walls down with that.
Yeah, he did.
He says they probably were punished. That's probably why Triple H said those things, because he is angry that we beat them. So.
And he said it with a straight face too. Like, he was like, he wanted to laugh, but he also said, well, they only beat our developmental. Like, no, friend, like they beat that third brand that y'all clearly wanted on this day at this time slot.
Hold on. I'm about to cut you off, Krssi. The developmental brand that beat Raw and SmackDown at Survivor Series. Yeah. Right. Oh my God. I forgot all about that one.
Yeah.
So much for developmental brand. Right. Okay.
I see people in the chat shouting out Ariel Helwani, which they should. What an incredible interviewer. I feel like I'm always getting something out of or learning new information in his interviews. Like he's really, really, really good at this. Triple H is working. Workers work. I got yes, no problem with any of this.
Absolutely, yes.
People got receipts, of course.
He's being a troll.
He's being a troll. I think if he wasn't threatened by AEW, maybe he would not be tampering with people's contracts so much.
Maybe.
Period. Like the City Girls.
or Worlds Collide wouldn't be on tomorrow. I don't think if he wasn't intimidated by AEW.
Hello.
Yeah, this It's funny. It's just funny. I love all this stuff. It's great. It's great for the content.
It's great for it makes everyone watch the brands. It makes people tune in to see what fuckboy shit is going to happen next. It's great. It's great for TV.
So it's also the guy that decided to show up at Nitro because they thought it was a good idea to invade Nitro in 1998. So I don't expect that cancers are petty.
That's true.
Cancers are very petty.
But this, you're 100% right, Kate, as well as the people in the chat. Ariel Wani has two of the interviews that might be talked about the most. This one with Triple H, and then people tend to forget he had the interview with MJF that started all of the MJF stories behind the scenes.
I forgot all about that. Damn.
Yep. So Ariel Wani is doing great work with his interviews. We got to send our best wishes to Joe Doring this week. He's stepping away from the ring, and Impact announced that Doring's brain cancer had returned. Impact announced on Tuesday that the Violent by Design member is stepping away from competition due to his brain cancer, returning after 6 years in remission. Doring is set to undergo surgery in the coming weeks. Violent by Design, it looks like they're going to be going their own ways as well on this week's Impact Wrestling on Thursday night. The group had a backstage segment where Eric Young said Doring had his own path to walk, and then said he was going to go his own way. When Diener asked if Young was leaving him, Young said he was leaving and it was up to Diener if he wanted to follow. And Impact Wrestling released a new shirt to support Joe Doring, saying Impact Wrestling star Joe Doring is stepping away. The 40-year-old is battling brain cancers 6 years ago, and he has informed Impact Wrestling management that it has returned. 100% of the proceeds from the shirt will go directly to Doring. So definitely best wishes for Joe Doring and a speedy recovery. Hopefully we see him back in the ring in the years to come, but more importantly, his health at the end of the day. So,
yeah.
All right, but we got to close off the show with some predictions. There's a bunch of big shows this week. We're about an hour away from Clash at the Castle, less than an hour away. So let's do the predictions for that. Let us know in the live chat what you think is going to go down at all the big shows: Clash at the Castle, All Out, Worlds Collide, even GCW tonight. Let us know in the live chat. And of course, super chat donations, because there's still some of this bottle left for finish off.
I'll even snort blow on camera if you guys.
All right.
Whoa, I know he lying. Whoa.
I'm joking.
You're gonna have to pay up for that, man. That's $50 super chat, I think, and higher, man. That's
super chat.
He trying to get us.
He's trying to get us shut down. Don't listen to. Matter of fact, see, if he was on the screen with us, I'll tell you to take him off the screen. Don't do that. See, you trying to get us off the screen.
Do it on camera, live on YouTube, though.
I wouldn't do it on camera. I'll just put my head down and be like, woo.
He's trying to get us demonetized, y'all. WWE Clash at the Castle in Cardiff is about to start, so let's go through the matches on this card. You got Edge and Rey Mysterio versus the Judgment Day. Edge returned at SummerSlam. The Judgment Day has been feuding with Mysterio and Dominic for the last few months. Dominic has kind of been dominated by Rhea Ripley, so he's not in this. And we got the former WWE Tag Team Champions Edge and Rey Mysterio reuniting against Finn Balor and Damian Priest here. Kate, who you got?
I think you got to give it to Edge and Mysterio. I want more for Finn Balor, but it's the first show in the UK in 30 years. You got two legends that are active. I think that's going to be the way to go here.
Who you got, Statking?
I'll agree with that. Could you, Romeo? Could you put the graphic back up though? What the fuck is wrong with Priest's face?
Yes, I was saying this. Yo. He looks like one of the dragons from House of Dragon.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, they are at the castle.
There you go. Clash at the Castle.
But yeah, I'll go with Edge and Mysterio.
Who you got?
That's what Priest looks
like. You already know, pal. The rated R God and Rey Mysterio.
And Krssi, who you got?
I hate to go against my boo, but unfortunately, he was going to lose on his side of the world. Back home, I'm going with Edge and Mysterio.
I really want to go with Edge and Mysterio because I was so disappointed. Judgment Day lost at SummerSlam, but I agree with Kate. They need the win more, and that's my
they do.
for WWE. Whoever needs to win more is who I'm gonna go with. So I'll go with
You must have had a really frustrating past 2 years.
But you know what? I'm going to go with Judgment Day. Ray takes the pin. Edge is not going to take it.
Yeah, Ray can take the pin. It's fine. You'll be fine, Ray. This one got very personal on Monday Night Raw, like we talked about earlier. You got Matt Riddle going up against Seth freaking Rollins. These two men were supposed to go at it at SummerSlam, but the match got scrapped. They've been getting into brawls every week. We had the fantastic sit-down interview between the two men on Monday's Raw. So who's going to take this one, Riddle or Rollins, Krssi?
I'm going Rollins.
Who you got, Kate?
This is tough because I feel like they both need wins in big spots.
Yes,
Like both of them have lost a lot, but just gut instinct, I go with Rollins too.
Who you got, Stacking?
Rollins.
Drunk guy?
Rollins.
Yep. Rollins for me as well. I feel like he's only won by disqualification on a major event this year.
Decisive fashion either. This feud definitely continues.
Yeah.
Like this seems like it's going to be another WWE trilogy situation, and you can't have the face win the first match. So, unless you're Cody Rhodes.
Yes. I think they're gonna do maybe like a fight pit or something at Extreme Rules. That's like the best idea.
So that's definitely fighting words. It's not wrestling words.
Not right. Yeah. No lockups here, please. We got a trios women's matchup on the card, as it's gonna be Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky. Damage Control versus Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, and Asuka. Bayley returned at SummerSlam and aligned with NXT alumni Dakota Kai and Io Sky. While Bianca Belair was on the opposite end, they took out the other person, Becky Lynch, who had the injured shoulder after SummerSlam. They also attacked Asuka and Alexa Bliss, which formed the babyface trio to go up against them. Io and Dakota defeated Alexa and Asuka in the WWE Women's Tag Team Title Tournament, but of course they got involved and took Bayley out of commission, so they lost in the finals. But who wins here in this trios women's matchup, Kate?
It better be the heels after.
I'm about to say it better be the heels. Yes.
Better be the heels, and I think it will be. I
definitely think the heels. I think maybe Bliss might take the pin.
Yeah, that's what
I feel like she should take the pin more than the other two. But yeah, the heels definitely have to win, especially they lost the tag team title match. Like, what did we put our money behind them for?
True. I'm going with Damage Control easily in this one. Drunk guy?
100%. Yeah, Damage Control.
Everyone Damage Control. That's what I like to hear. This one.
Yeah, we got a lot of heels winning, man. We got to switch this up.
Hey, this is how they book things. The Intercontinental Championship is going to be up for grabs as Gunther.
This is going to be
Gunther versus Sheamus. I think Sheamus will be the babyface in this matchup. Sheamus won the shot in a fatal 5-way on SmackDown. This one is one of the matches everybody's looking forward to from this weekend. I'm going with Gunther in this one.
Yeah,
Drunk guy? Stacking?
The fans. No, Gunther.
Okay.
Kind of is the fans. Definitely Gunther winning here, but I think this will be the match of the pay-per-view.
Krssi?
Yes, I don't see Sheamus winning, but I feel like he will be the one that is the wrestler of the match. But yes, Gunther, aka Volta, will win. Can we change his name, please? Jesus Christ, we doing name changes. Why we ain't doing the obvious one of this one?
He likes his name. He likes it. He's like, I'm Americanized now. He didn't even need the makeup as Hikaru Shida to be Americanized. So,
That's a sad.
SmackDown Women's Championship up for grabs. It's going to be Liv Morgan going up against Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler won a gauntlet to earn this opportunity. Liv Morgan's coming in with a bad arm after the matchup with Ronda Rousey at SummerSlam. Does Shayna take the arm and take the SmackDown Women's Championship, or will Triple H show some love to Liv Morgan finally for the first time as SmackDown Women's Champion? Stacking, who you got?
Liv. I don't really care about this one.
This is a great guy.
Do I have to choose?
Yes.
I'm kidding. I'll choose Liv. Only because now that Rousey's suspension is lifted. So yeah.
Krssi?
I think Shayna should win. she would be the better for the Ronda and that whole story to go further. Because they haven't really done anything for Liv. Liv won. You got it. You got the title. You got it for like 40 days. Great. You got that underneath your belt. Now we can go and move on to the next person.
Kate?
I felt like it was obvious that it was going to be Liv until I found out that I guess she's going to be filming something soon.
Ooh.
So that kind of makes it interesting. This one I actually feel like could go either way, but I'm going to stick with Liv, and I think somehow we end up with Shayna and Rousey coming out of that, which I think is a very healthy consequence. I've been really liking this Shayna Baszler rehab that we're seeing, though. It makes me very, very happy that she feels important again.
Yes, I'm hoping that continues and they continue the story with Rousey and her. But I think Liv Morgan kind of has to win because she's just been booked so poorly since Triple H has gone into power. This is like the only thing he has done wrong in his regime so far. But the most interesting match to predict on this card is, of course, the main event. Undisputed WWE Universal Championship is going to be on the line, as it's going to be Roman Reigns going up against the UK's own Drew McIntyre. McIntyre defeated Sheamus in the Irish Donnybrook match to earn this opportunity. He has been hunting down Roman what seems like forever since their last match at Survivor Series 2020. And now we are here in the UK, the event that Drew pushed for. Does he win the big one, or does Roman Reigns' 2-year run continue? Who you got, Kate?
So this is tough because there's a good scenario and then there's a nightmare scenario, and I'll run through them both with you. I'm going to say Drew, and I think Drew has an abbreviated reign that eventually gets handed off to Karrion Kross.
What?
The nightmare. I think that's why it's been, I think they're going to push Karrion Kross to the moon because you're going to have Vince's chosen one versus Triple H's chosen one. I think that's why Karrion Kross has been fucking with both Roman and Drew. I think that's what we're leading to. The nightmare scenario is Roman retains because Tyson Fury interferes and costs Drew because Tyson Fury and Drew have wanted to fight each other, and as my co-host yesterday, Alex Pulaski, pointed out, they would love. How
did you put that in my head? Oh,
they would love.
I mean, I prefer that scenario than the other one, but okay.
Look, they gave me Raquel and Aliyah as tag champs, so I'm not above them ruining my life with this. They would love to do Drew and Tyson Fury at Sands of Time. I think they would consider that like a big mark.
Sands of Time.
That took me a second.
Very nice. Very nice.
There you go.
I just call it sweet.
Hello.
Absolutely. I wouldn't be surprised if someone.
Why is Tyson Fury there? You know what I mean?
Right. That's
Raw's back in Kansas City. They're not running more shows over there. So what the hell is Tyson Fury doing in Wales? I don't know.
Oh boy. Krssi, who you got? Roman or Drew?
I got my tribal chief all day, every day. Fuck Drew.
Oh well, damn. Okay. Drum guy.
I mean, he's not that good of a champ, but okay. So and a damn sword.
What is?
Where you were singing "Broken Dreams," nicely done. Stacking
Roman Reigns.
I really want to pick Roman Reigns.
I'm sort of decisive about this.
Yeah, this is the toughest one for me. I'm gonna go with Triple H putting the stamp on his regime. And Drew McIntyre winning in the UK. I just have that feeling.
So he doesn't have both belts then?
Yes.
So there is an alternate scenario that came up yesterday that I think could actually happen of Drew wins, but Paul Heyman says it was only for one of the belts, which I think is actually very, very plausible. I've heard, Sean has talked about this. This came up yesterday of Paul Heyman's a clever little snake. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't going to have him put both titles on the line in the UK with Drew McIntyre there. Like, there's something really clever that they could do with that. And then you have 2 championships on your respective programs, which would make the networks very happy. So I could see them doing something like that as well, and then carrying Cross eventually dethroning Roman for the SmackDown one, which I would hate, but seems likely.
Yeah, I think we might get that type of swerve. Or I also came up with the idea that Theory cashes in, makes it a triple threat, and he gets pinned. And that's how Roman loses the titles without really losing.
Damn, yo, you guys are so fucking good, man. I tell you, that is damn, that's a good one too. And that still makes it look strong.
Exactly. Got to make Roman look strong. Remember this theme song.
Absolutely.
Also this weekend, tomorrow, you got NXT Worlds Collide. Once again, Kate's domain here. We'll start off with what should be probably the pre-show. You got 2 out of 3 rounds matchup. Axum will versus Nathan Frazier. Kate, what you got?
I'm gonna say Nathan Frazier, but this is probably gonna be a surprisingly good match. I think this one snuck up on people because Axiom is of course a kid and he's great. So I think this will be good. I'm going Nathan Frazier.
Who you got, Stacking?
Axiom. I don't know. I don't watch this.
I want to say.
Same. I was like,
anyway.
oh, I'm about to say, who are these people?
Axiom
what are we talking
is really
about?
a kid.
I know who he is. I'm just saying I don't watch.
This is for NWA, right?
Well, Nathan Frazier's like 19. So,
Krssi.
Who are the people fighting again?
A kid and a wrestler. I mean, a kid and Nathan Frazier.
Axiom and Nathan Frazier is fighting.
Frazier, sure.
I'm going with Axiom here. NXT North American.
Okay, whoever SC picks, I'm gonna pick.
NXT North American Championship matchup. This one I'm looking forward to. Carmelo
It's gonna
Hayes
be the match of the night
versus Ricochet. I'm going with Carmelo Hayes in this one. The champion retaining on his title here. Who do you got, Krssi?
Carmelo for sure. This is gonna be my match of the night for Collides.
Drunk guy.
Light skins galore.
He's not even light skinned. Carmelo Hayes is not light skinned, fool.
Carmelo Hayes is not black.
No, he's not light skinned.
I don't mean that. I mean he's not like dark skinned. He's definitely light skinned.
I didn't say he's like SP's complexion. He's not light skinned. He's
not
light skinned. What's wrong with you? I'm like.
You light skinned too. He's your brother. Light skinned brothers, right? Light skinned. Bob going with Carmelo Hayes though.
Hurry up and read this quick. You've been warned.
I can't anymore.
SP is
Carmelo Hayes. Everybody seems to be going with Carmelo. It seems.
Depending on your taste in wrestling, I think this could be the best match that we see from WWE all weekend. For me, it's going to be Sheamus and Gunther, I think. But stylistically, if you like what these guys do, this is going to be a hell of a match.
Yeah. I think, this and Gunther and Sheamus definitely going to steal the weekend for WWE for sure. NXT Women's Tag Team Championships is up for grabs. You got Kaden Carter and Katana Chance versus Doudrop and Nikki ASH of Monday Night Raw. Kate, who you got?
I'm going to say I would love it if they actually gave Nikki and Doudrop something to do and legitimize this tag division, but I'm going to say that the TikTok tag team retains.
I remember when they called them that awful name. I'm going with K&K as well. Krssi?
K&K. They just got the titles like a week ago.
Yes. Drunk guy?
Yep, them too.
And just that came.
He looks sleepy. Where y'all after the show? Y'all gonna get something to eat?
No one's giving us a super chat in a while.
That's good, thank you. You guys care about me. I appreciate it.
That's sweet.
Unification match, the first one we're going to discuss, NXT and NXT UK tag team titles going to be up for grabs, as it's going to be Pretty Deadly versus the NXT tag team champions, the Creed brothers, versus the NXT UK tag team champions, Josh Briggs and Brooks Jensen, versus Gallus. I'm going with Gallus because I love their theme song. That's my.
Which one is that one?
Simple to go
Gallus.
with. You're going with Gallus too, Krssi?
No, I'm gonna pick whoever you pick. Which one is that one?
Gallus is the one on the top left.
Oh, with the long hair.
Long hair.
That looks like Barbie dolls.
The other one's Pretty Deadly.
No, that's Pretty Deadly. Gallus is the one to the left of the Barbies. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
top
you.
left.
Okay, got it. Top left.
The
Okay,
other left.
sorry.
The other
The
left.
other left. Thanks. Yeah, I got it now. Okay, yeah. Whatever SP pick said, I'm gonna pick them.
Kate.
I'm gonna stick with the Creeds here. I don't think they're quite ready for the call up, but I think they want them legitimized. I just hope that the Redneck Boys are really a non-factor in this whole match. I don't need to see them at all on my screen ever again.
The Virgin and the Drunk one. Speaking of the Drunk one, who you got?
When you are with me. Creed Brothers.
Oh, so he was just singing Creed. I was like, say, wait, is that a Creed song?
He doesn't really need a reason to sing Creed, but you know.
A stack.
You will accept it.
Shut up, bitch!
I'll take the Creed Brothers too.
Oh God, this is so off the rails. NXT and NXT UK Women's Championship Unification match. It's going to be Mandy Rose defending against the NXT UK Women's Champion Meiko Satomura versus Blair Davenport. Who you got in this one, Drunk Guy?
I'm gonna say I don't want to see Mandy. It's a unification match, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Satomura.
Who you got stacking?
Blair Davenport.
Krssi?
I don't see how again.
Blair.
You're going with Blair? Kate?
Yeah.
This is tricky because they could call Mandy back up with Toxic Attraction, but with Gigi being out, I'm gonna say Mandy pins Blair Davenport to unify the titles in her favor. But it should be Meiko.
100%. But I think Meiko won't be involved in the finish here. So, yeah, I was going with Blair on Wednesday. I changed my mind. I think I'm going with Mandy Rose because I forgot about the Gigi Dolan injury. Might keep them there until probably like the end of the year, maybe Royal Rumble time. They get called up. NXT and NXT UK Championship Unification match. The main event of the show is going to be Braun Breaker versus Tyler Bate. These two went face-to-face at Heatwave after Breaker defeated JD McDonough. Tyler Bate won the NXT UK Championship for the second time, the first ever two-time champion after defeating Trent Seven in the finals. And now the unification match is here. Who walks out with all the gold, Kate?
I honestly, and I have no idea why my gut says this, but I think this is going to end up in a weird non-finish of some sort. But for the sake of the two of them, I'll say it's going to be Braun Breaker. I think Breaker won't hold it too long. I think around Royal Rumble season, you see Braun Breaker get called up. But I think for right now, if there's a finish, it's going to be Braun Breaker, but I think something weird is going to happen in this, just gut instinct.
I'm going with Braun Breaker as well. Stacking?
I'm taking Tyler Bate.
Drunk Guy?
Braun, for sure.
Krssi?
I want Tyler to win, but they love Braun Breaker for some whatever God reason, so I'm going to pick him.
Whatever God reason. There you go. Expert
I don't
analysis.
see. I don't understand it. You know, but that's not just it's not for me to understand, I guess. But yeah, that guy.
Sure, fair enough. I'll run through most of these matches. Just get your prediction for the big match on the GCW Art of War Games card. You got Jordan Oliver and Nick Wayne will versus Aussie Open on this card. You got DDT Extreme Title 2-ring ladder scramble, or called the Fuckfest match. You got Joey Janela defending against Gringo Loco versus Speedball Mike Bailey versus Tony Dempin versus Cole Radrick versus Drago Kid versus Dante Leone. Alex Shelley will go one-on-one with Blake Christian. You got Charlie Evans versus Sawyer Wreck. And then, of course, it's the titular matchup, the main event, GCW World Tag Team titles up for grabs in a 5-way War Games match. The Briscoes will defend against Alex Colon, John Wayne Murdoch versus Bussy versus Los Masitos versus the Second Gear Crew. Krssi, you're going with your favorite tag team, right?
Bussy for sure.
Kate?
Oh, well, no, sorry. It was the Briscoes. Fuck, no, damn.
Go ahead. You want to change your pick to the Briscoes?
Yeah, the Briscoes, yeah. Because Bussy not going to beat the Briscoes. Yeah, sorry, yeah. But I love Bussy. You know I love them very, very much.
Everyone loves Bussy.
Everyone loves Bussy. Who doesn't love Bussy? I love
Gotta love
Do you
him.
love Bussy?
Who doesn't love Bussy?
Who doesn't love Bussy?
I mean, it's for everyone. Bussy's for everyone, you know?
Bussy
It's
is for
true.
everyone.
It's
It's
true.
very true.
Who you got?
It's damn true.
I actually am going with Bussy because I think ROH TV is coming and the Briscoes are going to spend their time there. So I'm going with Bussy.
I'm also going with Bussy. You got to believe in the Bussy.
You said Bussy.
All right, I changed my answer back to Bussy. Go ahead, Bussy.
Who you guys?
You guys are clearly sold on Bussy, so I'm gonna go with the Bussy. So there you go.
You guys.
We'll make it unanimous.
Everybody loves Bussy.
You guys are putting the Bussy on a pedestal.
Well, no one here is like, fuck that Bussy. You know what I mean?
Building the Bussy up.
No one's trying to fuck Bussy over.
You always want to put the Bussy on the pedestal, of course.
Yeah.
AEW All Out is the big show that closes off this weekend, and they have 15 matches on the card. No one's going to sleep before 1 a.m. anywhere in the world watching this. 0 hour, you got 4 matches. They newly added Ortiz and Ruby Soho versus Ty and Sammy for the AAA Mixed Tag Team Championships.
Third time.
Which they gonna lose.
So you're going with Sammy and Ty?
Yep.
Who you going with, Kate?
Because it's for the titles, I'm going to go with Sammy and Ty.
I'm going with why the fuck is this match added all of a sudden? That's what I'm going with.
They need time to.
Holy crap. I guess I Sammy and Ty because they're chimps, so whatever.
I have a feeling maybe they were like, we should get some more women on the show after what Tony Khan said.
It's like, maybe that would be a good idea, right? Yeah, cool. Yeah, I'm going with Sammy and Ty in this one. FTW Championship is up for grabs. Hook will defend against Cool Hand Angelo Parker. Hook all around, everyone?
Yeah,
Hook.
Yeah, we don't need to go around. It's Hook, obviously.
Nope.
AEW All Atlantic Championship up for grabs. Pac will defend against Kip Sabian. Who you got, Kate?
Pac, and I think Ishii goes as the next challenger for this.
Ooh, I would like
because
that.
he was injured at Forbidden Door. I think he deserves his shot.
Krssi?
What Caitlin said.
I think she doesn't gave us Caitlin yet.
I'll go with Pac as well.
I said it.
Oh.
Pac. Man, Pac.
3-pack, 6-pack. How many shots did you take? Was it 10?
I think someone CM better tell us in the live chat how many shots he's at. And then the main event of 0 hour, it's Eddie Kingston versus Tomohiro Ishii 2, their rematch from New Japan Pro Wrestling's Capitals Collision earlier this year. I'm going with Eddie Kingston here because Tony Khan
needs to win
over New Japan talent.
And Ishii did beat him last time, so there you go.
So you're going with Kingston? Kingston.
Eddie all
Uncle
around.
Kingston.
We're all from the East Coast, so it's Kingston all the way. There you go.
All day.
Ricky Starks versus Powerhouse Hobbs on the main show. Grudge match. Two former friends, former tag team partners collide here. Ricky Starks had a horrible fight for the Fallen where he did defeat Danhausen to retain the FTW title. Then an open challenge. He lost to Hook, and then Powerhouse Hobbs turned on him after his babyface promo, electric promo on that show. Hobbs turned on him, went after his neck. Who wins this one? I'm going with Powerhouse Hobbs. I think he needs the win more here.
Definitely
Hobbs. Kate.
I'm going Starks.
I want Starks too, and I feel like Starks needs to win more than Hobbs. I'm going Starks with Caitlin.
Starks is already over.
I think Starks is already over. Yeah, I think this is the one of many for Ricky and Powerhouse Hobbs, but I think Powerhouse should win this one. Another grudge match between former friends. Christian Cage will go one-on-one with Jungle Boy. Cage and Jungle Boy align with each other after Double or Nothing 2021, where Jungle Boy won the Casino Battle Royale. Christian helped Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus win the AEW World Tag Team titles, but as soon as they lost it, Christian turned on him. We don't know where Luchasaurus really aligns.
Right.
He was with Christian Cage for a while, then went back with Jungle Boy. Can he appear here? I think so, and I think he's going to help Christian get the win.
Krssi?
You think so?
Yep.
Really? Then why would do the back and forth then? That makes no sense to me.
Because I think this is not the end of their feud.
Swerve him, bro.
Swerve him, bro. Okay, cute. I'm going to go with Jungle Boy. Luke Perry.
Jack Perry. Go with Jack Perry. Kate.
Whichever one you want to call it.
I'm going with Jungle Boy, and I think the Luchasaurus turn happens after.
That's fair. Stat?
Jungle Boy. I'm gonna go with the boy from the jungle.
There you go. I'm outnumbered here. FTR and Wardlow versus Jay Lethal and the Motor City Machine Guns. This should be.
This is gonna be the one. This is gonna be banger.
I had to switch my pick here because I did pick Lethal and Motor City yesterday, but after the promo exchange on Rampage, I think FTR and Wardlow win this one.
Yes, they have to win.
Lethal and Motor City Machine Guns gonna beat them
to set up Machine Guns getting a shot at one of the titles.
Okay. Wardlow and FTR.
I'm gonna take Lethal Motor City.
Kate?
I'm going faces here. Too much gold on that side.
Krssi?
FTR and other guy. Well, Wardlow. There you go.
Other guy. Damn. He's falling that much.
He didn't fall. I just couldn't. I lost it like really quickly. I'm sorry. I really like Wardlow. Go to the next one, SP. Stop it. You don't have to look at the other stuff, you know?
Miro, Sting, and Darby Allin versus the House of Black in a trios
House of Black better win.
Miro got the misspit in his face at Forbidden Door and has been at the odds with the House of Black since then. Sting also got the miss to the face. We had the Brody King, Darby Allin feud with the coffin match. So this is all those feuds coming into one here. Who walks out with the WK?
I'm going to say House of Black, and I think this eventually switches back to being a Miro versus House of Black program. Something's got to happen with Sting and Darby. This is getting old. So I'm hoping that maybe Darby turns heel, and that's what causes the loss or something in that vein. But I'm saying House of Black takes the win.
Everyone turns on Sting. If you've been watching since you were a kid, that always happens.
That is true.
Krssi?
Shit.
House of Black has to win. I need them to win this one.
I'm going.
The other guys don't need to win.
I'm going with the House of Black as well.
Black Power.
He's going with Black Power.
I'll take House of Black as well.
All right, we got our first championship match here, TBS Championship, Jade Cargill versus Athena. These two have been feuding since Athena's debut at Double or Nothing. Now we finally get this matchup here. Who you got, Krssi?
Jade.
I got Jade as well. Kate?
I'm going with Athena. I think this was originally going to be Chris Statlander's spot. Athena having the title and Chris coming back would be a good program to follow this up.
That's true.
That's actually pretty.
I was thinking Athena too. I'm going to take Athena.
So going for the 1 and 36-1 are y'all for Athena.
I feel like it gotta be a bigger number though. I feel like it's gonna be like maybe 40.
I'd say get her up to 50.
Get up to like I feel like it has to be like a bigger number for her to lose.
Yeah.
It has to make sense. You know what I'm saying?
I just don't know what's left for this Jade title reign. Is the only problem as far as like who else is there to feed her, that kind of thing. Like
That's
I don't.
true.
She's over. You know what I mean? It did the job of getting her to feel and look like a star on this program. So that's the only reason that's where I'm at.
We got the Casino ladder match. So this is a 2-part question. You got Claudio Castagnoli, Dante Martin, Penta Oscuro, Ray Phoenix, Roosh, Wheeler Yuta, and you got the Joker entrant, Andrade El Idolo. So who do you think is going to be the Joker entrant, and who do you think wins, Kate?
Ooh. Oh, man. Because of how I'm booking the main event, I don't think it's MJF. I'm going to say this is Samoa Joe coming back, and he takes it.
Ooh, that's actually a good idea.
My problem with this is with these ladder matches, because we know whoever's the Joker is always wins. That's the problem. So whoever comes back.
We go with the Joker. The Joker to win. Krssi?
Joker to win. I don't know who the Joker would be though. I can't really pick who I would think it would be.
Which is funny because it kind of sounds like Joker.
Stacking.
Adam Cole and winning.
I got Adam Cole being the Joker.
The Joker? Okay,
Yeah,
so we all pick the Joker as the winner.
Yeah.
It feels too obvious to be MJF. So I think
I don't think MJF wants to be in a ladder match right now. I feel like he has more to do and keep his body more healthier than being in a ladder match, if that makes sense.
Because I think that's the case. He's coming off an injury.
And if
I'm
I feel like that gives away the main event.
True.
I also think that it's a waste of a pop because the Joker is going to get a pop regardless. MJF is going to get a pop regardless. Why double down on that? Just doesn't feel like.
And if he's coming back, save him for after the main event, after the title match.
My running gag is that it's Johnny Gargano. So
there you go.
Yeah, we wish it was, but it's not.
We're thinking long term here.
Right.
AEW World Tag Team titles up for grabs is going to be Swerve in Our Glory versus the Acclaimed. Swerve in Our Glory won the titles back at Fyter Fest Night 2. The Acclaimed have been on a roll since turning babyface, scissor me daddy ass shirts, selling all like hotcakes on Shop AEW. Statking, who you got?
Swerve in Our Glory.
Definitely Swerve in Our Glory.
What?
What they were swerving
So
in?
I'm about to say Swerving Our Scissor, but Swerving Our
Wow, not Swerving My Scissor. What?
When Tony does the 8-man tag team champion.
There you go. Swerve in Our Glory, Kate.
Swerve in Our Glory. I think everyone's going to remember how good Anthony Bowens is at this, though, in this match.
Yes,
Swerve in Our
for
Glory.
sure. Krssi going with Swerve as well. We got another grudge match. Is going to be Chris Jericho versus Bryan Danielson, the Lionheart versus the American Dragon, pro wrestling versus sports entertainment. Daniel Garcia has been kind of in the middle of this between his hero Dragon and his mentor, the Lionheart. Who's going to prove themselves to be the greatest wrestler of this generation? I'm going out on a limb, and I think this is an upset win here. Chris Jericho is winning. I think
Yep.
He All Out is kind of his pay-per-view. I mean, other than
I feel like they kind of fucked it up anyway, only because they added that Wheeler Yuta Garcia match on Wednesday. I feel like he this is all playing to fuck with Bryan. So definitely Jericho.
Going with Jericho as well, Stacking.
I picked Bryan yesterday. I'm gonna stick with Bryan.
Kate.
Okay. My gut says Danielson, but wrestling booking in my brain says
with Tony Khan. Yep.
Is Jericho, because I think the story turns to Garcia has to beat Jericho to get out of the Jazz, as it were.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
Jericho.
Yeah, if Garcia didn't take the chair from Jericho this week, I think they would have saved that spot for the pay-per-view. So now I think Garcia is going to accidentally cost Danielson. So that's why I think Jericho is going to win. Krssi?
Jericho is going to definitely win. With the booking, it should be Danielson, but unfortunately, if this is his pay-per-view and we know that Tony Khan just fuckboy shit, so yeah.
Fair enough. AEW Interim Women's World Championship Fatal 4-Way is going to be Toni Storm versus Hikaru Shida versus Jamie Hayter versus Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, who becomes the first Interim Women's Champion, Kate.
I'm going with Toni Storm, and I just hope that they make it matter.
Krssi?
This is hard. I would have preferred to have it go to Shida.
Well, she's Americanized now, so.
There's a Bob cut now. It's not happening.
I think, but I feel like he's going to give it to Britt.
I think I just have that gut feeling. After she took the loss on Wednesday, I was like,
Goat Baker.
He's really putting the title on Goat Baker.
Goat Baker.
Yeah, he is. And then he's going to put them back to have another fight again. That's just what it's going to be.
Got to play off some personal beef. Stacking, you're going with Baker?
No, my heart wants Jamie Hayter to win, but Toni Storm.
Yeah, it's between Storm or Baker. I'm going with Baker because I feel like it would be something different with the interim title where I don't think Baker's going to be the one in the unification match. I think Baker wins and then eventually drops it to like Toni Storm.
We also have not seen Britt Baker in the TNT picture at all. Or I'm sorry, the CBS picture at all. Yeah. So I think that could she could be Wardlow. She's very well booked. But I think she might start going after the secondary title a little bit.
And they will help it elevate it a bit. And then
Finally, it's the main event, AEW World Championship up for grabs. Jon Moxley defends against CM Punk. These two men have been feuding since Punk's return at Quake by the Lake. They got into a heated promo exchange with Punk calling Moxley the third best guy in with Moxley destroying Punk in 3 minutes. And then last week we had everything that went down with Eat Steel setting up the second showdown here. So does Punk win in Chicago or does Moxley continue his reign, Krssi?
I think Punk wins.
Going with Punk. What about you?
Going Punk. Because he got to make that loss mean something. That 33 seconds or 3 minutes match. I don't know how much it was, but yeah, that.
Why are you asking me this question?
Maybe you want to be different. Maybe you want to be a contrarian.
He's not going to be different, no.
Drunk guy?
Let's go. Yes, see?
I'm not biased. I'm going to go with Punk.
Kate?
Punk with implications from MJF returning, I think, is what we get here. CM Punk realizes he doesn't have it, but the guy that can help him in Chicago is the only guy that beat him in Chicago. Let's not forget MJF, his one title shot was against Mox and he lost. I think that could also be very fun where you have Punk winning and then maybe you have MJF fighting Wardlow again, reigniting that feud in the secondary title. So that's what I think. And if you're not going to have a major debut, I think a returning MJF is just about as big of a way as you can go home. But thinking they could ever turn Punk heel in Chicago is something I think nobody would say is possible. I think this is the way to do it. I think it could be really fun.
I think they're going to have Punk turn heel, but still get cheered in Chicago. And the best way to do that is having Ace Steel and Colt Cabana help CM Punk win the AEW World Championship. So he's going to get cheered because he's reunited with his friend, his fellow Chicagoan, Colt Cabana, but he's really turning heel. And then MJF comes out as the conquering babyface that's going to take the title from CM Punk eventually and then hold it hostage before he goes to WWE. But that's what I think is going to happen at All Out. I'm going out on a limb with all of that stuff. And that is the preview and predictions for all of that. Want to thank, oh yeah, forgot about the Trios Championship. My bad. And the first ever
elite.
Yeah,
elite.
AEW Trios Championship will be decided as it's going to be Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks versus Hangman Adam Page and the Dark Order. The Elite got here defeating LFI and the United Empire, while Dark Order defeated House of Black and Best Friends. Who walks out with all the gold? I think this is going to be the match of the night. So it's kind of funny I forgot it. But I'm going with the Elite in this one. I think you guys are too?
Hell yeah.
Yep, Kate.
I'm going Dark Order.
What the?
Oh, okay.
I like it.
I love that she goes against the grain. I love it, Kate. You're amazing. I can't wait to see you at Arthur Ashe.
I can't wait to see you guys either. I just think Dark Order has felt directionless. It's been a big criticism. They're day one guys. I think this is a fun way to reward them. I don't think the Elite necessarily needs the belts, but I think it's a very fun way for them to try and either poach Adam Page or whatever. I think the story can continue with the Elite outside of the Trios pictures for a little bit, and Dark Order deserves that.
I wouldn't mind it. I don't mind either way. I just think the Elite are going to be the best option to be the first champions, and plus they can have all these matches with all these great teams, even though they can't have it with Undisputed Elite like we established earlier. That's kind of the reason why they brought these titles. But hey, here we are, and now
you know what's so crazy? This is what ignited the feud. Like
turn
it on, and now we can't even get the match.
Nope.
That's crazy.
Swerved us all. But that brings us to a close on Tru Heel Heat 191. Want to thank Kate so much for being our great special guest.
Kate.
You are a welcome addition with all your different alias. Please let the people know where they can find you on social media and what you got going down this weekend.
Well, it's a busy little weekend for me. You can catch all my shows listed at Miss Kate Fabe on Twitter. But to run them down for you, I'll be on Fightful Select for both tonight, the Clashal as we're calling it, and what am I saying? All Out. I will be behind Fightful Select paywall, but I will be on YouTube's Fightful's main YouTube channel for the NXT pay-per-view for Worlds Collide. So come hang out with us.
Awesome stuff. Yes, follow Kate. One of the hardest workers in wrestling media today. And definitely we want to have her back here on Tru Heel Heat in the future. Krssi, let the people know where they could find you.
Yes, it was a pleasure. Kate, you have to come back on so much more. But you can find me. I'm the station Miss Krssi Luv, IG, Twitter, Facebook. Twitter is Tru Heel Krssi Luv. Server Faces Hills will be back next week. We're doing a roundtable tomorrow, so check us out there at 11:05. Are we doing 11:05? Probably. I don't know. Anyway,
yes.
Other than that, okay, great. I do the SmackDown reviews with Steve Falls, Going Blue. We've been going for a while because he's having a baby soon. Other than that, IG, Twitter, Facebook, or you see me on the watch-alongs. See you there.
Stat King, you want to let them know where they can find you?
Yeah, you guys can catch me here on Dark Power, covering AEW Dark Elevation and NWA Power. You can also catch me on Rampage Wrap-Up with Josh, True Draw Josh, covering everything that happens on AEW Rampage. And, of course, you can catch me on our sister channel, THH Sports, where we talk about football, basketball, baseball, everything. And I cover a lot of the football stuff.
Drunk Guy.
You can follow your boy, Sober Guy, not drunk. On Instagram, Haxo_J_Duggan. Twitter, what's my Twitter? Twitter, Sober Guy JJ. Facebook, my name is my name. If you don't want to know my name, you know the rest. Mondays, Radio Raw Superstars. Wednesdays, Elite Heat. Whenever I just pop up on Tru one of these days, watch-alongs. Of course, you can follow the gang everywhere, Tru Heel. Pro Wrestling Tees, YouTube,
that pause.
Instagram,
Amazing.
Patreon.
Pro Wrestling Tees? Like, what is happening?
We got them buzzed and made money in the same breath. Like, killing it.
You have to take the shot you said you were going to save to the end.
Take them shots.
Yes. And you can follow me on the Twitter machine at Tru Heel SP3. I'll be back with Krssi and Stephanie Hypes tomorrow, 11:05 a.m. Eastern Time, with the WWE Clash at the Castle roundtable review, as well as on Monday for our All Out roundtable review as well. Follow us, patreon.com/Tru Heel Heat. Jump on over to the watch along for Clash at the Castle starting in 2 minutes. And Drunk Guy will probably be there to take any other shots that he missed out on this episode. We want to thank everyone for joining us for Tru Heel Heat 191. For Kate, for Miss Krssi Luv, it is me, the Tru Heel Phenom SP3. For Drunk Guy, for Stat King, this has been Tru Heel Heat 191. All Out, Clash Collides. We are signing off until next time.